Saúl, Eddie, buenas noches. Los Eddies. Saúl, obviamente no se puede descartar la pelea con plan, pero si se consigue, pues cada vez más especialistas dicen es que no hay nadie en 160 o 168 que le gane. Es justo, y aquí también involucro a Eddie porque sé que tú haces lo que él te diga. Que entonces digan, pues que suba hasta las 165, una
lo que
quinta.
Quieren es lo que debemos de hacer, haciendo historia, y eso es lo que más contento nos tiene. Y digan lo que digan, al final de cuentas, cuando me retire, la historia va a estar ahí.
Y en ese sentido, Eddie, justamente sí, porque tarde que temprano llegarán esos nombres otra vez, los Chap.
Vamos por plan.
Should move up a division. He was a champion. We also beat Saunders as a champion at 168 and 160. We're going for Plant. They want to see him lose, and that's why they want to see him fight heavier fighters and fighters in other divisions.
Hi, Ryan O'Hara, FightNice.com. First and foremost, Canelo, congratulations on your victory. I'm right over here. And, it seemed...
Lo que es Billy Joe Saunders, los primeros asaltos iba a ser un poco complicado para mí, pero desde antes lo dije, ¿no? Que mi pelea iba a empezar desde el séptimo round para adelante, más o menos.
No, we knew who Billy was. We knew it was going to be complicated, especially in the early round. But like I said before, my fight was going to start from the 7th round and on.
Canelo.
So when can we get something going on?
Oh, man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but you... What? I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but you... What? Hey, you fight with nobody, man. You won the you won the belt with nobody, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night. who I'm fighting?
Demetrius. Not the press.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Round and on.
Canelo.
So when can we get something going on?
Oh, man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but you... What? Hey, you fight with nobody, man. You won you won the belt with nobody, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night. who I'm fighting?
Demetrius. Not the press.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, man.
Don't worry. No.
Hey, get the fuck out of here, because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker. A ver. Oh, look at this guy.
Next.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey.
Okay. There you go, guys, please. Off.
You are a horrible fighter, man. You never gonna get the fight, man. You are a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Okay, next question.
Just payday. You want payday. I know that. Yeah. I see you outside. Yeah, man.
Te vamos a sacar del hotel, cabrón.
That's
Okay, next question.
just payday. You want payday. I know that. Yeah. I see you outside. Yeah, man.
Te vamos a sacar.
You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Quieres dinero, lo que quieres, dile. Dile, you want money. Dile.
Okay, next question.
Just payday, payday. You want payday. I know that.
Watch him up, bro. Watch him up. Watch him up. See you was on.
Yeah. I see you outside. Yeah, man.
Te vamos a sacar del hotel, cabrón.
That's a kid, man. That's a kid. Kid.
Next question, please.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Congratulations, Canelo.
Thank you.
This actually plays perfectly because my question was going to be about you showing your personality more. And I thought Billy Joe brought the best out of you personality-wise, and now he did it too, I guess.
Man,
It's good to see.
Hablando de eso, que
Yeah.
todos lo quieren pegar, mira, aquí en la quieren
hey,
pegar.
Speaking of
even
everybody
before my fight,
beat him.
everybody want to hit me, but guess what? Nobody can.
I mean, I've heard you say it in the past many times. You said that Demetrius Andrade is simply boring, right? And then
Horrible fighter, man. That's it.
I mean, I think everyone loves it that you're showing your personality now. You're taunting him. What changed?
Huh?
¿Qué cambió? ¿Qué cambió?
Because, man, in some point, I fucking need to say something, right? This is the time.
No, no, it's great. I mean, Eddie Hearn talked about it. I remember after the Callum Smith fight, you're already the biggest star in boxing, but this kind of stuff is going to make you an even bigger star.
He's just being himself.
Yeah.
True.
That's true.
Muchas gracias, Canelo. Una de las mejores preguntas que escuché en la gira fue la que te hizo Oscar Valdés. ¿Qué tanto extrañaste a la gente? Reaccionaste inmediatamente. Y voy a esto, la pregunta es la siguiente. Hubo un momento que tenías tal dominio del combate que hiciste un poco de paso para atrás, levantaste las manos y conectaste de una manera mágica con el público. Describe ese momento.
No.
¿Y cómo?
I mean, I think everyone loves it that you're showing your personality now. You're taunting him. What changed?
Huh?
¿Qué cambió? ¿Qué cambió?
Wanna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Quieres dinero, lo que quieres, dile. Dile, you want money. Dile.
Okay, next question.
Just payday, payday. You want payday. I know that.
Watch him up, bro. Watch him up. Watch him up. See you was on.
Yeah. I see you outside. Yeah, man.
Te vamos a sacar del hotel, cabrón.
That's a kid, man. That's a kid. Payday.
Canelo.
So when can we get something going on?
Oh, man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but you... What? Hey, you fight with nobody, man. You won the you won the belt with nobody, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
Dile que es mi nombre.
Who I'm fighting?
Demetrius. Not the press
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Ahorita de una vez, dile.
Fuck you, man.
No.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
A ver.
Oh, look this guy.
Next.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey.
Okay. There you go, guys. Please. Off.
Hey, you are a horrible fighter, man. You never gonna get the fight, man. You are a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. horrible fighter.
Quieres dinero, lo que quieres, dile. Dile, you want money.
No, okay, next question.
Just payday, payday. You want payday. I know that.
Watch him out, bro.
Yo, what's going on? Thanks for being patient. And you know, I needed to leave you with that phrase. You a horrible fighter. You're a horrible fighter. You want payday. You want payday. I know that. I know that. Now look, everybody knows the Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade face-off. Demetrius Andrade went to Canelo Alvarez's post-fight and tried to call him out. And what Canelo Alvarez told Andrade is that you are a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. And we're going to get to why Canelo said that I'm not going to give you a chance because you're disrespectful. And what Canelo said to Andrade was, you're a horrible fighter and you ain't fought nobody. So does Canelo, is he telling the truth? But Andrade says, well, you didn't fight me. So why are you avoiding me? Andrade said, well, when he was a champion, you didn't come and get that belt, Canelo Alvarez. Right? So does Andrade feel that Canelo Alvarez avoids him? Right? Does Andrade feel that Canelo Alvarez avoids him is the question. We're just going to keep it where we got to keep it. Right? There's no feelings over here. There's only facts. Now, what Canelo Alvarez is saying is that Andrade ain't nobody. That the man's not on my level and he's a horrible fighter. And he says that the man like Andrade ain't going to get an opportunity. He told you this. He said, I'm not going to give you a payday because of the disrespect, how Canelo felt when Andrade confronted him in the post-fight. So, do we feel that Canelo Alvarez is saying the truth here? That Andrade hasn't fought anybody, right? Andrade, nobody knows him. And Canelo saying that, what have you done? Who did you fight for the belt? Canelo's asking Andrade, who the fuck did you fight for the belt? So what is your views on Canelo? But when he says he's a horrible fighter, what does that mean? That he's a horrible fighter? Is he a horrible fighter that he's a tricky fighter? Is he a horrible fighter that he's a fighter that's very hard to work out or he's boring, but he's got some kind of a style which is horrible? Is he a Devin Haney kind of fighter? Is Demetrius Andrade Devin Haney's big bro? Is Demetrius Andrade Devin Haney's big bro in boxing? Keep the same energy. You don't give Devin Haney his credit because of the skills, and you don't give Demetrius Andrade his credit because of his skills. So is Boo Boo Andrade the Devin Haney big brother in the YouTube boxing? Is that Devin Haney is little bro and big bro is Andrade? Because I think we live in a different time. We live in a climax today, ladies and gentlemen, that people want to see knockouts, especially if you fight C-minus fighters. Doesn't matter how good your skills are, it all depends, can you close the show? And, you know, this is why we live in a market value today, that a fighter is worth more if he knocks people out. If a fighter knocks people out, his value goes up. The value doesn't go up if you got the science or you do some good 12-round decisions. 12-round decisions is not what people want to watch in 2023. Even Andrade knows that he needed a knockout against the C-minus fighter in Nicholson. Even Andrade knows that he needed a knockout, bro. He's not stupid. He tried to give you a knockout his market value will go up, because today's boxing fans are not fans from 20 years ago. The people that watch boxing today want to see closeout shows. They want to see knockouts, or they want to see you fight the best. You either fight the best, or you want to see fighting C- fighters or B- fighters get stopped by the elite guys. Now, Devin Haney been fighting good opposition slowly, but even Devin Haney never stops nobody. Demetrius Andrade tried his hardest to stop Nicholson, which is a C- fighter. Demetrius Andrade did stop Quigley, but Quigley was never really better than any domestic level fighter himself. But Demetrius Andrade's been going back and forth with many 12-round decisions against Leon Williams, Ustaki, and many other fighters that he's gone long distances with. Right? Demetrius Andrade tries to give you the best in the first few rounds. He gives you a great performance. See, with Andrade, right? When he gives you some good, he's got some great skills. But when he goes for it, he does give you excitement for a few rounds. Andrade always turns up his gears, but then afterwards he goes into a different fight. And then the fight gets going, and then Andrade will win by points. And people don't really want to see that against C- fighters, especially not Nicholson. People want to see knockouts against Nicholson, right? It's just that the climax that we live at. We're living in a different time. That's the fighters that people want to talk about. If Andrade would have knocked out Nicholson in the 4th round, people would have said, yeah, Andrade's in the game, bro. He's at 168. Andrade's a threat. Andrade's a threat. But this is how casual that the boxing fans have become. The boxing fans have become casual because over the years, the sweet science of boxing doesn't get the respect if they're boring fights. And all of a sudden, you see a fighter change his game plan when he's got better skills and he takes the fighter to the 12th round. People don't really like that much. They want to see closeout shows against low-tier opponents. And that's why Canelo Alvarez is the man. Because Canelo Alvarez knocks out elite opponents. Like when Canelo stopped Billy Joe Saunders was an elite opponent. He's just as good as Andrade to some people. When Canelo Alvarez stopped Caleb Plant, he stopped an elite fighter of the division who was a champion, regardless. So Canelo stops elite guys at 168. Yeah, when Canelo goes up in weight, you want him to do everything in the world. Well, he's going to weight classes that he doesn't even belong. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's achieved too much. More than these guys like Andrade and Charlo and David Benavidez. All 3 of them put together doesn't have a resume like Canelo Alvarez. Andrade, Charlo, and David Benavidez all put together, put all their careers and all their wins and losses, or wins, sorry, all their wins, and put it on one box rec and have a look at what Canelo Alvarez has done. And you'll understand why Canelo's got an ego. You will understand why Canelo has got an ego, bro. The reason why Canelo's got an ego is the motherfucker's done everything in boxing and he looks at the rest of them and they all want a payday. Give me a second. Give me a fucking second, bro. I can't even see the chat right now, but let me see the chat right now. We got Tip in the building. We got Eric Gomez, my brethren, NL. Yes, mate. We got real boxing TV. Yes, brother. But let's keep it moving. King Nello, Canelo, Cartello, Mr. Face of Boxing, Mr. Payday. He has got an ego. But do you blame Canelo Alvarez for having an ego? Can you blame Canelo Alvarez telling Andrade, man, shut the fuck up, bro. You ain't fought nobody. And you want your payday. At the end of the day, Canelo's going to use that ego. Because Canelo thinks he's the man. And Canelo knows that he's done more than any man. See, Canelo not stupid. He's the Messi right now. Canelo's your Messi of boxing. He knows what he's done. And even if he's lost against Bivol, he knows there ain't nobody doing what he's doing. Motherfucker is a 5'7" man, and he goes and fights a man like Bivol. Come on, bro. You only can be special to do what Canelo's done. And even you know that he's not looked good against Golovkin. Golovkin is a special motherfucker. Golovkin is another special motherfucker. He ain't losing to nobody else but Canelo Alvarez. Regardless, even if he's 40 years old. That man has got a special chin and a very, very special hunger about him. Golovkin always finds a way to beat anybody. Doesn't matter how he looks, how he loses a little bit, and how in the rounds he looks like he ain't winning rounds. Golovkin beats everybody, not Canelo Alvarez. And we just got to give it where we got to give it here. Yes, Canelo's got an ego, right? Canelo's got an ego, but behind the ego, he knows. Behind Canelo Alvarez's ego, he also knows what everything is going on in boxing today. He knows everything. He also knows that there is only a couple of opponents left in the world right now for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's not a stupid man. He might have one tune-up against John Ryder, but that man has took all the thick smoke against mainly everyone else. If you ever ask who's took the thickest smoke in boxing, you got to give Canelo Alvarez has took some thick smoke in boxing. But also, nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Even Mayweather, they said Mayweather avoided this guy, avoided that guy. Even they say Mayweather lost his first fight against Jose Luis Castillo. The same Castillo that Ricky Hatton knocked out to the body. He was the guy they said beat Mayweather in the first fight. But he never got the decision. Nobody is perfect, even though everybody wants to be. What we got to recognize there, though, is when Canelo says he's going to fight who he's going to fight. After John Ryder, there's only the smoke he's going to take. He's not stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not stupid. He knows everything. He knows that the only fucking fight after John Ryder for him is either David Benavidez. If David beats Caleb Plant, Canelo knows he has to face that smoke or he got to retire. Canelo cannot be in boxing if David Benavidez beats Caleb Plant. Canelo could not stay in boxing for his ego. He couldn't live with himself. He would have to retire. He would have to do a Mayweather special, is retire and come back. Canelo knows if David Benavidez beats Caleb Plant, that is the fight that he's got to face. That is the only fight that he has to face. People ain't going to listen to no other bullshit. Now he can go and do the rematch versus Dimitri Bivol. He can go and do the rematch against Dimitri Bivol, even though fans believe he can't win that fight. I'm going to stand by Canelo and say Canelo got the biggest balls to try and get that rematch. I will stand with the Mexican brother in boxing. If Canelo Alvarez takes the rematch, fuck all the fans. I'm still with Canelo Alvarez. Even though that you know and you think he can't win. If Canelo Alvarez goes and gets the rematch with Bivol, I'm still with Canelo. That Canelo Alvarez has got the biggest balls to try and beat the guy who already beat him. I got to give Canelo some credit here that you already know he can't win that fight. You already know that Canelo Alvarez, you've got it in your mind that he can't beat Bivol. But imagine if Canelo Alvarez came back in the rematch after his injury and now fixed his injury. And all of a sudden, Canelo's looking like Lomachenko. When Loma came back from his injury, he was looking good in the beginning. Does anybody in the chat believe, or have you all given up hope on Canelo Alvarez, the best 168-pounder undisputed champion? No one ain't touched him at 168. Have you given up on him in the rematch versus Bivol? Do you believe Canelo can beat Bivol in the rematch? Yes or no? Hey, yo, do you believe Canelo Alvarez can beat Bivol in a rematch? Yes or no? Yes, says NL. Fuck no, says Carl. Where the fuck you get Loma from? Motherfucker, just wait there and sit there and listen. And I'll show you where I got Loma from, bro. When Loma came back from his injury, he was looking good. Look what he did to Nakatani. Look what he did to Richard Comey. You thought Loma was finished. People thought Loma was finished after Tio. Right? Now we know that Canelo's coming back. How do we not know that Canelo's going to look better after his injuries, bro? How do we not know that rest that Canelo needs in his body? The man who's given up everything in boxing. Huh? Let me explain to you, bro. A fighter needs some time in his body too, you know. Canelo's not a machine. Canelo's a great fighter, but he's not a machine. He got some wiggles and tears. He's coming back from that. So how do you not know that he don't do what he does and comes back looking better? Only Canelo knows how good he's going to look. Only Canelo knows how good he's training. But if he takes the rematch against Bivol, wow. If he takes the rematch versus Bivol, how can we say anything? How can I sit here and say, well, this opponent deserves the fight, this opponent deserves the fight, or that opponent deserves the fight? How can we sit here and say anything then? He's going into a rematch with a fight that you don't even think he can win. How can you not give credit to a fighter who's going into a fucking fight, right, that you don't even think he can win? You got to respect that. You got to respect that, bro. You saw Bivol outskill this man. You saw Bivol outskill this man. Now, do I think Canelo can do better coming back in a rematch versus Bivol? Yes, I do. And let me break that down for you. Let me break down to you how Canelo Alvarez can come with a better game plan and make slight adjustments to make that fight a little bit different of a fight now. But before I do that, let's get me bird on here. Tracy. Where's Miguel Tracy gone? Tracy, what are you doing?
Right, what's going on here, Donny's on the next? Barry's actually going to propose to Sandra. Sandra has been giving Barry mad head lately, and he's witch, yeah? He's doing this behind the back of the boys because they know, yeah, they would have cussed him out for proposing to Sandra. Tracy had one job to do, and that was to record it. But she's all over the bloody place. Barry's clocked that she didn't get the footage, so he's going to propose to Sandra again. Oh, for fuck's sake, Tracy! What's going on?
What up?
How are you?
I'm great.
Can we meet you?
My name is Tunde Tupac, aka the Rap Killer,
Tunde Tupac.
the Rap Flexer, kill them all.
Your name is
Tunde Tupac.
Tunde Tupac.
You can write the Rap Killer there.
But Tunde is your name.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Tunde, with your dressing, I know the kind of song that you're about to present.
Yes.
So you want to tell us about it?
Just rap game. I kill the rap game because the haters want us down, but they're not going to get us.
You don't need to tell us about the haters now.
Rappers, right? You're a rapper.
Rapper.
Good. Let's hear you.
Check it. Ha ha. Check it. Ha ha. Check it. Check it. Check it. I rule everywhere. I rule. They want to take me down, but they cannot take me down. Yeah. I rule New York. I rule Lagos to Atlanta. We go to Chicago. Check me out. Check my game. My game is tight. All the haters, I shoot them in the brain. Boom, boom, boom. I've been around with my guys, 50 Cent, Tupac, Biggie, Snoop Dogg. We're all in this game together because I kill them all. I kill Tupac and I kill Biggie. I kill them all because they can't contain my rap game.
Hey!
It's off the hook because I kill you all now.
No, calm down. You killed
who?
It's just a lyric. Don't fear.
Lyric.
Yeah.
Your lyric will put you in trouble. You have to be very careful. You don't just go about saying things that you don't know.
It's a rap game. That's how it is.
Oh, okay.
How old are you?
I've been in this game for more than 20 years.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years old.
What?
Just forget my age. Just focus on how long I've been in the game.
And you know Tupac. You know Snoop Dogg. You know
By the
50
grace of
Cent.
God, we met in the States.
Oh.
Which state?
Akwa Ibom.
This guy.
You're just a joker. You know what? Just go. We'll get back to you.
Now look, ladies and gentlemen, let's spice up the show right now. Tell me we got some likes in the building. NL, tell me we got likes in the building. How many likes we got? Because now we're going to get to something a bit more spicy. Come on. How many likes we got right now? Do you guys want some smoke or do you guys want me to keep it chilled? Come on, get these likes up, man. We got 30 people in the building. Let's get some likes up for your boy Rapstar. We're going to upbeat it over here right now on the Rapstar Boxing Show. Now, look, a good old friend of the channel, Tip Bayless, you know, he says, bro, Canelo avenging the loss means nothing. Hit that motherfucking like button if you want some smoke. Do you want me to smoke our own subscriber and our own friend? Yes or no? Or if not, you know, I like Tip Bayless. You know, Tip Bayless is out there. He's always giving support. You know what I'm saying? But on this message, bro, should I cook our own boy, Tip Bayless, or should I just give him a pass? I need to see some 10 yeses, or I'm going to move on to the next motherfucking subject. And I need to see 10 more likes. If I don't see 10 yeses and 10 more likes, just on that statement alone, I will prove to you Tip Bayless is biased right now. I will prove to the whole boxing world that my own boy and my own subscriber and my own boy And we got love for Tip Bayless. Tip Bayless is always part of the family. But right now, Tip Bayless is being biased. I want to see fucking 10 people tell me cook. I'm just moving on. I'm moving on. I see 4, 5, 6. Come on, I want to see 4 more. I want to see 4 more. And I want to see how many likes. Have we at least got to 20 likes? Or let's just keep it normal and corporate. And let's just move on to the next subject. But you know, with that fucking statement that Tip Bayless has put of Canelo Alvarez is not keeping it real. Nah, man, we've only got 7 people. I need 3 more. All right, I need 2 more. 2 more. I need 2 more, bro. I need 2 people to tell me to cook. 2 different fucking avatars here. You guys are sleeping over here, so I'm going to start sleeping. I want to see people sleep so I can sleep. All right, can I get some more likes, please? All right. Come on, bro. That's not keeping it real for Canelo Alvarez. Tip, I'm not going to go all on you because you are part of the channel. You are part of the family. But you're keeping it wrong there, Tip. What other fucking fighters do you know, Mr. Tip, that goes up in weight class, right? Goes up out of their weight class, loses the fight on the 12th round, yeah? And then even they lose convincingly. What fighter you know says, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go for that rematch? What fighter goes up in weight to win a fucking rematch, bro? What fighters are doing that, Tip? And you said, Tip, that he's just going up in weight and him fighting that rematch ain't nothing. So what Canelo Alvarez is doing is nothing. Tip, get the fuck out of boxing and go play golf. Get the fuck out of boxing, Tip, and go start fucking doing some golf trainee fucking do some other shit, bro. Because the man who's doing greatness, you hating on him, what the fuck are you going into boxing for? Why are you training in the fucking boxing gym? Why are you training when your logical head doesn't even define greatness? What fucking respect have you got, Tip, for boxing? Tell me, bro. What the fuck are you in boxing for, bro? If the man is going up in weight, Tip, he's not even meant to be there. I just caught you out, Tip. You don't like Canelo Alvarez. And simple and plain. You don't like the greatness. It's simple and plain. But you know what, Tip? I don't blame you. You don't like Canelo just like people didn't like Mayweather. It is what it is. I'm just saying, bro, Tip, I'm disappointed that you know in your heart as a man, as a fucking man, Tip, you know what Canelo's doing. If he does that rematch, bro, I want the world to respect Canelo Alvarez, bro. Ain't many men willing to do that. I don't know many men. I don't know many greats that will go up in weight and come back down and say, nah. Even though the fans think I lost, I'm going to go back and win. I'm going to try. How can I not respect that? I have to respect him more than the next guy. I have to. Come on, Tip. As a man, you got to respect that, bro. You just got to respect that. That's just simple and plain. If your favorite fighter, Tip, motherfucking Keith Thurman, went up in weight, and he's always stayed at one fucking weight all his life. And I liked Thurman. I like Thurman. But the way you suck Thurman's fucking dick, if you ever gave Canelo half of Thurman's respect, you would never said that at your mouth. You would never have said that at your mouth, Tip. You would never in your life ever come out with a comment like that, Tip. And that's what I'm thinking. That you overlook Canelo like that. That your own fighter, Keith Thurman, hasn't even left 147 pounds. He fucking dies to make that weight. That motherfucker dies to make that weight. He will do what it takes. He will go fucking have sex for 6 weeks, go eat as much as food as he wants, and the motherfucker be in the gym dying to make 147 because he don't want to go up in weight. And here's a man who's a 4-weight world champion, right? And he's gone up in weight again to face the number 1 guy. And then he loses. Not losing to fucking Mario Barrios. Not fucking losing to Mario Barrios. I'm not sorry. Not having a tough fight against Mario Barrios. Not even a fight that you would expect in a certain round. You're seeing fucking Keith Thurman, bro. You're saying Keith Thurman. The same one-time Thurman is getting touched up in 1 round against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is touching up Keith Thurman, bro, in that round. Go watch it again. Go watch it again. You don't even know how to define great against greatness. You don't even know how to define great against greatness. And that's sad. And most boxing fans, if they start to think like that, what the fuck is it worth being great? I got a lot of love for you, Tip. You've been around us for a long time. I'm going to start a GoFundMe organization. I mean, a GoFundMe donation on the channel. We're going to pay for your golf classes. We are going to take you out of boxing now, and we're going to send you to golf. You need to get into golf and go sit and pity-patty with people who don't know what boxing greatness is anymore. So just watch out for the GoFundMe for Tip Bayless golf lessons. Rapstar going to set it up next week, you know, and we're going to pay for it. We're going to fucking fund it. Fuck it. Let's put the right people where they belong. It is what it is, you know. And golf's not a bad sport, Tip. Golf ain't a bad sport. You'll enjoy it, mate. It's a pretty good sport, you know. You'll understand it. I'm sure it'll take you about 5,000 irons. You know, some of them are beta males in there as well. You know what I'm saying? We're Tip Nicholson. Real boxing loves it. This is what real boxing wakes up. This is it. And it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault that Tip Bayless had to get cooked. It wasn't my fault. Tip Bayless did that to himself. I really didn't want to. And listen, I didn't go all in. If I went all in 100% Rapstar crazy mode, oh man, I would kill a man right now. I would destroy the man. I didn't do that, bro. I'm just saying, come on, bro. We got to get out of this casual attitude. You're a hardcore boxing fan. You're boxing yourself, Tip. You're boxing yourself. What the fuck are you boxing for, Tip? Keith Thurman fucking got buckled, bro, at one of the rounds. And Keith Thurman doesn't even move to another weight class. And here you got a man who's fucking on another level, bruv. Gone up another weight class, right? And then he loses. And then he says, no, I want a rematch. And you're saying, bro, Canelo avenging that loss means nothing. Wow, Tip. The fuck are you been smoking, bro? I need to speak to your boxing trainer. Did somebody in the ring fucking punch you up today or what? Have you been shooken up in the ring or what? What happened to you, bro? Just give everybody the weed that you're smoking. Because that weed that you're smoking, bro, that must be called the delusional. Or is it called the invincible haze? The invincible kush. Tip Bayless is smoking the invincible kush. You know what I'm saying? You're out there for Keith Thurman, but you can't give Canelo no credit. That's soft. That is soft. But yo, give me a minute. Just give me a minute, guys.
Move. 1, 2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move. 1, 2.
Now, my other thing is when Canelo gets a lot of criticism in America, I want everybody in the chat to help me with this one. When they say that Saul Canelo Alvarez avoided Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez for Dimitri Bivol and Golovkin trilogy. Now, the last time I checked, if Canelo Alvarez goes up in weight, right, and fights a champion and tries to fight a champion again at another weight class to win a belt, what does David Benavidez and Charlo bring to Canelo if he had fought that deal with Al Heyman? Now, people hate on Canelo for not taking David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo, right? But the bigger fight, wasn't it Dimitri Bivol? I just want to know, have we got real boxing fans here or not? Just let's keep it real here, bro. I want to see if there's some realness. I'm not a Canelo fanboy. You already know that. I ain't no Andrade fanboy. You already know that. I ain't a nobody fanboy. I sometimes come at Canelo and I can criticize with the truth. Let's just keep it real here. Canelo taking the Dimitri Bivol fight, wasn't that better for his legacy than even thinking about the David Benavidez fight at that time? Huh? Him fighting Bivol was the bigger fight, really, in the eyes of boxing. It wasn't David Benavidez at that time. David is a fan-friendly fight, big for the fans. But in defining legacy on paper, it was Dimitri Bivol. It was Dimitri Bivol. Now, fans just don't like Canelo, bro. That's just all it is. Fans don't like Canelo, but their own fighter hasn't even done half of what Canelo's done. They want to find 1, 2 negatives. Oh, well, Canelo never fought this guy. Well, then Canelo went up somewhere else and fought someone else. Oh, Canelo never fought this guy. Right? But when you talk about Canelo fighting, he's fighting everybody better than all you motherfuckers are fighting put together. Stop the bullshit. On that one, I got to give Canelo his fucking props. Right? Now, when we look at how we want to criticize Canelo, we can always say that Canelo at one time cheated, got caught for clenbuterol. That's a fact. Then that law changed where Canelo is not cheated now. At the end of the day, if he had done that again, that would be classed as not cheating. Right? That's a fact too. Then we know that Canelo didn't fight Demetrius Andrade when he could have been undisputed, but he was having problems with Oscar De La Hoya while Oscar De La Hoya was trying to get Canelo to train with another trainer, him and Eddie Reynoso were trying to exit from Oscar De La Hoya. So they also say that Canelo wasn't notified while Oscar and Eddie were having back and forths. Canelo wasn't notified about Andrade's fight to the point where they didn't apply for the extension with the federation, with the sanctioning body for the belt of Demetrius Andrade. So Canelo didn't become undisputed because he did not face Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Instead, he went and chased a different legacy and went up in weight and beat Sergio Kovalev. Right? So he still went and faced a big motherfucker like Sergio Kovalev and won the belt. But he could have been undisputed if he had stayed at 160 and fight Boo Boo Andrade. So that's just the way that deals didn't work out. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. But where has Canelo done everything else? He's done what he can. He's done more than any fighters out there today. It's just today's climax, Canelo is a man who's done more than most people have ever done. He's even run out of ideas that he goes up in weight to face people at 175. Canelo does not belong at 175. He's only going to 175 to try and achieve more legacy. So at this point, going forward, though, Canelo ain't got many opponents. At this point going forward, Canelo ain't got many opponents. Canelo's opponents are only 4 or 5 opponents at max right now. Canelo's only got 5 names left that the world would want to see. Canelo's opponents are only 5 names in the whole world of boxing. He don't have more than 5 people left. At his age, in the next 2 freaking years, Canelo is going to retire. It'll be over, man. Canelo going to finish in boxing in the next few years, bro. The man's already made hundreds of millions. The last time I read on Canelo Alvarez, this man runs Mexico. This man runs Mexico, and I can prove it to you. I've been reading about Canelo, and Canelo's got hundreds of petrol stations, what Americans call them gas stations. Canelo has invested multi-millions all over the world. Canelo flies in private jets. This man has made more money than you can imagine. And Canelo is a man, and he's running the third world countries. Canelo's running third world countries. So the 5 names I'm going to quickly run down to you are these 5 gentlemen right now. David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, again, Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, and then maybe David Morrell Jr. I don't know many names that can face Canelo now. That's it. There is nothing left in this whole boxing world. There is nothing left. Those are the names that you got to remember are left for Canelo Alvarez. But we got no one else that has been hanging out with the Boo Boo Andrade people lately. We got no one else. And, you know, it's Punch Drunk Boxing. What's going on, Punch?
What's good,
I'm cooking
Rasta?
today, Punch. I ain't even send the link right now. It's just that I got to send an email to you. I'm going to send the link in the chat. But I think I've been cooking for a while, bro.
Oh, shit. What's good, man? What's good? What's good, Rap? What's good, man? People in the
Hey,
chat.
man.
What's
Punch,
good,
man. Let me play this for you, brother. And then I'm going to send the link. Are you?
Talk to me.
Let me play something for you.
Okay.
Let me play something for you, brother. Let me remind the boxing world, yeah? what are the real reasons that people have given. So give me a second, Punch, yeah? Right. But how you been? You good?
I'm great, man. I'm great. How about
you been
you,
chopping
man?
it up with your boy Boo Boo Andrade behind the scenes lately?
Yeah, man. You know, Boo Boo Andre, Boots, well,
Hey Punch,
Sheedy. I
can I
don't know.
ask you a straightforward question as we should be speaking this straight on the, and I'm gonna ask you anyway, that's how we always have been. In the last 2 weeks, especially with Boo Boo Andrade, and the way that you and him have chopped it up has been a great exclusive interview for 2 hours. I respect the interview. I respect you letting me chop it up with him quickly. And man, it was a great interview. I've never seen an interview where the man's joking, laughing. This interview will be exclusive more in years to come. But I can see that you haven't, first of all, got love for the interview around the boxing world. They don't really like Andre that much. And I feel that they feel, and I'm just going to keep straightforward, that are you fanboying a little bit for Andrade, or are you totally bringing out facts? Because there's some part of your energy that shows that right now you are very high on Andrade, and it feels, is it because you are getting closer to him, or is everything you're just bringing out is facts, and it's nothing to do with that, bro?
If people follow my channel and everybody could go and check the archives, they could check for almost 4 years and a half. I've been saying the same thing I'm saying now that I've been saying since day one. Now, if a person subscribed to my channel because I'm praising Canelo Alvarez, and then you got subscribers that subscribe to you because you're a rap star, and there's gonna be people that subscribe to you because you may have a content that you're big into Tyson Fury and the Tyson Fury fan, or a Josh Taylor fan, and then they might subscribe to you to a particular content. So I've been saying the same thing about Demetrius Andrade since day one. I've been saying Demetrius Andrade is the most avoided fighter. I got videos saying he's the Paul Williams of this era. This was when I first started my channel. So I think people are just catching on. People ask for unbiasedness, but the thing is, they really don't want unbiasedness. It's either you want me to talk great about Canelo Alvarez and not talk about and shit on every potential opponent that is linked to Canelo Alvarez. That's what in YouTube, that's what they want. So a lot of people like to channel hop. They like to, when I'm talking great about Canelo Alvarez, they're gonna be like, yo, Punch, you know my favorite channel is you, IBFP, and Money Brown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you like it when we have a Canelo Alvarez content. But if I have a Canelo Alvarez content when I'm holding him accountable, whether it's him not wanting to fight Mexican fighter or him not looking invincible after the last two fights, then it's man, oh my God, yo, you sounded, what's happening, Punch? Yo, why are you giving all? That's what it is, man. The people just don't like unbiased content. You feel me? I've been saying the same shit about the Demetrius race since day one.
Right. So what you're saying is this energy that people are bringing to my channel, because I need to talk about it now, and even on your own channel, Punch is speaking facts, but now they're thinking, oh, Boo Boo and Punch are friends. It's only because Boo Boo does show you a different type of love, or the way that he talks to you, he don't give that time to media, Punch. He's a bit difficult with media, if you understand what I'm saying. Or is he difficult, or the media feel that they're difficult with him, whatever?
I mean, I think that he feels like the media doesn't give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the guys that we all know are highly familiar with and marinated fights that, you know what I'm saying? Let's say Demetrius Andrade been calling out Canelo Alvarez since 2014. That's do the math, man. That's almost a decade now. You feel me? So why aren't people calling out for those the fights that we really been wanting? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not even about whether you believe who's gonna win or not, but ain't nobody been asking for John Ryder. Ain't nobody been asking. Not even people. We ain't even asked for Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. So why we trying to neglect fights that we know is an interesting fight?
So
You know what I'm saying?
agree? But do you agree now that after Boo Boo, you chopped it up and everything, But do you also agree that Canelo Alvarez, after this injury, if he comes back looking, maybe he might not be looking declined, that he actually could be a guy that stops Boo Boo and later on in the fight?
He has the potential to
He can
hurt
stop
Boo.
Boo Boo.
He has the potential to hurt Boo Boo, and
Yes, he does.
and Boo Boo has the potential to outbox Canelo Alvarez.
And that's facts.
So
Okay,
what's
let's
the
move
fan?
it on.
So what's the fanboy here? See, now the fanboy
Yeah,
is
then we're going to talk about that, Punch, because I want to shut this fanboy shit down. That's why I'm doing this with you right now. But we got 5 more people, but I'm going to keep this right now. That when you say Punch is fanboy, right? Let's talk about it. Punch is a guy that interviews fighters, right? Sometimes. He spoke to Jarrett Boot Ennis back in the day, Keyshawn Davis back in the day, right? Even Maxie Huge, Teofimo Lopez, which, let's keep it real with Teo. Teo showed Punch a lot of respect as well, though. Not many of those fighters show Punch the same respect. Andre shows a lot of respect to Punch. Jamal Charlo showed respect in front of the world and said, yo, Punch is my guy. But he don't come to Punch's channel because Punch keeps it so sometimes the content he'll speak about that might even offend Charlo because he knows Andre comes to his channel. Then he knows that Punch will keep it real about his brother. His older brother, Punch has been in there saying, yo, what he sees. So people don't like that sometimes. We don't know. But what we're saying here is every time you get an interview, Punch, you're a fan of that fighter all of a sudden.
I mean, I think that if people watch particular channel like myself grow, and I think people, I mean, they don't want to be real with themselves. I think that people, I don't know, it's some type of jealousy that people have. Like if you see me just came from the mud, me doing live shows, 1 or 2, 3 people looking on, you know what I'm saying? You know, doing the grind and building my channel. But then what happens is, boxers become fan of the channel. So they rather say that I'm a fanboy to them, but are they a fanboy to Punch Drunk Boxing? Did I ask Teofimo Lopez Sr. to come to my channel, or they came on their own? Did I ask Bill Haney to come to my channel, or they came on their own? Do fighters actually email me and be like, when Luis Collazo and Victor Ortiz, Luis Collazo hit me up on IG and said, yo, you a fair guy. I like your channel. I want to build this fight with Victor Ortiz. Can we do it in your channel? They hit me up. You feel me? The young fighters they hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary rap star boxing.
Yep, and Punch Drunk.
Punch Drunk, legendary.
Hey, Punch and rap. Real
And
talk,
you know one thing before I go to you guys, and this is no word of lie. One thing why I rock with Punch, and I don't give a fuck about the haters. I might not agree with him on everything, though. Me and him don't agree on everything. But one thing I'll tell you as a man, he has been opportunities where he could have chose a side. Are you listening to me? We could have, and I'm going to say not just him, or even him, many times him. He could have chose a side, gone with another side, got paid for it, and spoke about just a certain part of boxing, and he chose not to do that.
Thoroughbred.
I can't say that. I've seen that in my own eyes. But what are you saying, Mastermind and D Calico and everybody in the panel?
Legendary, unbiased. Y'all got to keep it all the way thorough. You know you have my dumb ass on here, man. Y'all fuck with me, y'all fuck with anybody. You know what I mean? Because I'm on here, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it 100 every time I get on here.
Hey, real talk, what it's boiling down to is my dog Punch Media ain't just a blogger no more, man. My boy is the media. He the media. And they scared of that. Like, and on the low, people, I don't know why they don't realize,
but they don't want to respect. Do you know why they don't want to? Do you know why the big channels like IFL, ESPN, and all? These Showtime and all that don't want to talk about this interview because they're gonna have to call Punch Drunk Boxing's name now.
Exactly.
He's come
That's
to
when
the
it get
level
real.
that if you want that content, let me tell you what's happened in boxing.
You hear me?
If you want that content, you got to say where you got it from. And let me tell you what the problem is. People don't want to give Punch his flowers that he's getting some interviews where they can take a bit of content because it's not, you don't want to bring somebody up like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's because he's black. If he was white, they wouldn't do it like that.
You guys can hear me?
So we can hear you, Brian. What's up?
Okay, how you doing? I'd like to congratulate Punch on his success. Go getting these fighters, talking to these fighters. I just really got one question, and it is true, and I think it's facts.
Hey, somebody
I know,
loading up their dishwasher, bro.
yeah,
Stop
that's
that.
not me. I know, right? Andrade is avoided and all this here. One question: has he ever fought a top 10 fighter in his career? And a ranked top 10 fighter? Because
Keep cooking, Brian.
I went back and I looked at his record of all the weight classes he's been in. He's never fought a top 10 fighter ranked.
Really?
Who?
Yes.
What was Liam Williams ranked?
I think he was ranked 13th.
Huh?
I think he was ranked 13th.
On one of the sanctioning bodies, he was.
How is he ranked number 13 if he was mandatory?
Hey,
got him. Legendary Hall of Famer.
That's what I mean. Like this is not hard to figure out. Like how he's not a top 10. How many mandatories have Demetrius Andrade fought? Answer me that.
Well,
there it is.
I mean, his first mandatory was versus Rose, right? What was he? What was he?
Yeah,
ranked?
but Rose wasn't ranked in the top 10.
So how is he mandatory? So you telling me now you telling me belt federations have mandatories that's ranked number what, 25?
Isn't that what they did? Isn't that but Brian, they did in boxing. If they want fighters to be in the top 10 overnight, they did that to Pedro Campa versus Teofimo Lopez, bro.
I know they did.
So boxing sanctioning bodies and federations, they can overnight change the fucking rule for the fighter.
What boxing ranking are you going for? You going by BoxRec, or you going by the Belt Federation ranking? Are you going by which boxing rank? ESPN? Which boxing ranking are you going by? Because if you're a mandatory, you gotta be number one in that Belt Federation. Am I right or am I wrong?
Hey, Punch.
I've looked at the top 10 rankings since 2013.
Hey,
he's not fought a top 10 fighter.
I'm saying where you get the rankings? Who is the rank? What
WBO, WBA, WBC, and
So Liam Williams was not. So Liam Williams was outside. They fought for the WBO. Liam Williams was a mandatory. So Liam Williams was not. Was he ranked number 13 when he fought for the WBO mandatory? That's what you're telling me?
Let me see here. I'm checking it now.
Okay, go ahead. Check now.
Okay, I want to play this while he's checking it, though. I got to play this audio, D. Calico, of Canelo Alvarez. Are you ready? Right. Hold up, guys.
Right, Jesus is going to translate.
They have to wait their turn, the fighters. Responding to Eddie Reynos's comments on whether or not they should move up a division. They can wait their turn. We beat Smith. He was a champion. We also beat Saunders, who was a champion at 168 and 160. We're going for Plant. They want to see him lose. And that's why they want to see him fight heavier fighters and fighters.
And, it seemed like in the 6th and 7th rounds, Billy Joe was, getting that a part of the game plan there.
Pero desde antes lo dije, ¿no?
Located especially in the early rounds.
Oh, man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I know that. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but you... What? Hey, you fight with nobody, man. You won the you won the belt with nobody, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night. Who I'm fighting?
Demetrius. No, the press.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, man.
I got that wrong. He was number 8. He was hit from the world ranking.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
A ver.
Oh, look at this guy.
Next.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey.
Okay. There you go, guys, please. Off.
Hey,
off
you are a horrible fighter, man. You never gonna get the fight, man. You are a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Yo, you guys can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, rap. I heard that. Canelo
Nah,
Alvarez.
look. Who's ever went to see Canelo Alvarez, bro? Who's ever gone in his face and said to Canelo, listen, motherfucker, fight me? See, Andre went up to Canelo and said, look, I don't give a fuck, fight me. You avoided me at 160, fight me now. And what Canelo said to him is, first of all, he's being disrespectful, is telling Eddie, and then he's saying to him, you a horrible motherfucking fighter. You just want a payday, and you ain't nobody. You ain't fought nobody. Ain't nobody we know who you fought. Who do you think on that time and what Canelo's saying, fuck you, man, you ain't even going to get the payday unless you do something. Who do you think is speaking more substance? Andre telling him, fuck you, you motherfucker, fight me, midget. Andre was telling him, fuck you, bitch. He was telling him. And then Eddie Hearn said to Andre, look, stop this. Now, I don't know. That's Eddie Hearn was saying, stop this now. Who do you think's got more substance in what they were saying? Go on, D Calico. All right.
Yeah, obviously, Boo Boo wasn't in the wrong. And I ain't gonna say, Canelo definitely his response was wrong. Yeah, I can only see that Boo Boo was more in the right because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, nobody else even really attempted that I could think of. Nobody.
So you're with Andre on that?
Yeah, I remember when it happened. I was with Andre on that.
Okay, what do you think, Brian? Do you think Canelo's got the right ego, saying I'm 4-weight champion, I'm doing everything? Who the fuck are you?
I think the way he dealt with Andre was disrespectful.
Okay.
I do understand that, fight better opponents, come back and see me type thing. I do understand that. So yeah. Right, but the way he talked to him was disrespectful.
Yeah, because what does he mean by horrible fighter? I want to break down horrible fighter. Does horrible fighter for Canelo mean that he's a tricky fighter? He's just difficult. He's like a Devin Haney. He's boring as fuck. What does horrible fighter mean, do you think?
Worst fighter he ever seen put on the gloves.
Or
he never seen nobody.
or just a guy that's just not that good. What does
or
he
maybe
not that good.
Or maybe he's trying to fog. He's trying to fog and throw this perception.
I'm coming to you on this one, Punch. Though we got to get your full view on that, Punch, and I need to leave you to last on this one.
Well, you got to remember here, right? That you got to remember that English is this man's second language. We barely heard him speak English. We don't know how good his English is. So maybe
horrible fighter to him, Brian, must mean Canelo saying you're horrible means that you're not on my level. You're just not on my level.
Yeah, maybe that's it, right? But we don't, it could have been like he could have misspoke.
Okay.
Maybe he meant something else. We don't know how good his English is. That's the first time I ever heard him speak English.
What do you think, Mastermind? Do you think, Mastermind, that Canelo was saying, look, you haven't fought anybody. I'm the top dog. Who the fuck are you? And or do you agree with Andre? Andre saying, fuck you, fight me. You avoided me at 160. I'll come up in weight and fight you. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, he basically.
Who do you agree with?
Oh, I agree with Andre. I want to see the fight. But Canelo letting you know I'm never gonna fight your bum ass.
That's how he told him. I ain't fighting you.
He's never gonna fight him. He's never gonna fight him. I mean, he's horrible.
That's a bad
it's like
energy.
the worst.
So bad energy from Canelo saying I'm never gonna fight you.
He's letting you know he don't want him to eat. He don't want him to make no money off of him. That's how they doing him like Devin Haney. They don't want to like you not if you're gonna make money, fight the motherfucker. You're not gonna make $4-5 million off of me, you fucking bum. That's how they feel. He looking at him like they look at Devin Haney. Like Lopez and Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia look at Devin Haney. You fucking bum. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible. And he really speaks English. He fakes like he don't know English. He know that shit. That ain't the first time he spoke that shit. He can speak English for real. real fluently.
All right, then let's go to Punch himself. Punch, what did you take from Canelo's confrontation and Eddie Hearn's, the way that Eddie Hearn had to get security to get Andrade out of there?
First and foremost, I think the whole thing in the end was hilarious because the Mrs. Andre brought out the quote unquote cartello. You know, when somebody pinches your nerve, they got something, you know, they could do something that pinches your nerve. See, he said he's a horrible fighter. We all know he's not a horrible fighter. That's fake. And Canelo Alvarez should know better than that. And he said you would never get the fight. You would never get the fight. That just told me that he never wanted the undisputed. He only wanted the undisputed if it was somebody else. But because it was the Demetrius Andrade, he's willing to just get the fuck out of the division. Don't fight Demetrius Andrade to become an undisputed, and this is what you wanted. Not stress your team out to sign the extension after the Danny Jacobs fight. Canelo Alvarez never wanted Demetrius Andrade. By not wanting Demetrius Andrade, he didn't want to become an undisputed in the middleweight division. That's what it was. And then he exposed himself even with the Caleb Plant because he called him a motherfucker. But when he was talking to Caleb Plant, he didn't know what motherfucker meant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. English is a second language.
He said, don't talk about my mother.
I don't know.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit. That ain't no say. He know exactly what he said. Punch just said it. He never wanted the undisputed unless it was somebody else. He exposed himself.
I don't think the Demetrius Andrade frustration is more with these fighters. It's more with the media and the fans. See, it's like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, you're not the promoter of Canelo Alvarez. Your fighter is Demetrius Andrade. You supposed to look at Canelo Alvarez and say, fight my fighter, Demetrius Andrade. You the one that's supposed to tell Canelo Alvarez, no, he's not a horrible fighter. This is my fighter. I signed this fighter. You know what I'm saying? This is my fighter. He's exclusively to Matchroom Boxing. But Eddie Hearn was sucking or was holding on Canelo Alvarez's pee in that press conference and massaging it instead of telling, because his job is to bring Demetrius Andrade to the press conference. That's Eddie Hearn's job. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But he wasn't working as a promoter. People gave him a pass. People gave Canelo Alvarez a pass because he had the fan base to actually keep up a narrative alive. And Demetrius Andrade don't got a fan base to debunk the Canelo Alvarez narrative. The facts is that Canelo Alvarez, like he said, never want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Canelo Alvarez never wanted to become undisputed if Demetrius Andrade was on his way, because he knows that Demetrius Andrade is the more skillful fighter technique-wise in 160 and 168, and he knows that he has trouble fighting those type of skill set. Golden Boy knew it, he knows it, and his team knows it. That's why he don't want Demetrius Andrade, because he's scared about that style. He might not be scared of the man, but he's scared facing that style.
But he wasn't that scared. Let me just rebuttal. Let me rebuttal here. He wasn't that scared of one of the tricky fighters in Edison Lara, right?
Yes,
Lara was very tricky as well. I just want to give Canelo his fair share as well, all right? That Canelo has faced some fucking killers, right? And Canelo has already faced styles not like Andrade, but similar to Andrade. And I want to give a big shout out to Nonito Donaire, the champ himself. He says, hey, man, I'm just listening in today. I'm packing. All right, man. Safe travels to Nonito Donaire in the chat. So,
stay safe, man.
Yeah, stay safe.
Rap Star, that Lara fight is what's making him scared of, because he already faced it. He know how.
Exactly. This is the beginning.
Here, anyone on this panel thinks Bivol is a tougher fight, or Andrade is a tougher fight than Bivol?
See, I want to finish with my statement, though, Brian. My statement is that this guy, Brian,
Bivol destroys Andrade. I think you're smoking crack if you don't believe that.
He already did that.
Well, let me finish with Canelo's favor, bro.
Because he outclassed Canelo Alvarez?
No, no.
Go on, Brian. You better bring the smoke now, Brian. I'm going to keep mute.
We're not going down this road, because I said prior to the to the Canelo Alvarez fight that Bivol would beat him. So don't give me that there. I'm a big fan of Bivol. Do not give me that shit.
So how many
right?
people said the same thing that you said?
Me, Mark Unrivaled.
Who the fuck
There's
are
a few
those?
people I know said that. 150 Dream Team. A few people I know said that.
What's the contentions? When I say people, I'm saying the majority of the people. I'm not talking about the. See, look, I'm the minor of the people that feel like Demetrius Andrade could outbox Canelo Alvarez, but the majority of the people had Canelo Alvarez beating Demetrius Bivol.
Yeah, but I wasn't one of them. So
a lot of people didn't think too much about the disadvantage that Canelo Alvarez is bringing to Demetrius Bivol. A lot of people wasn't thinking highly of Demetrius Bivol. They thought that Canelo Alvarez. I didn't think that Canelo was going to lose to Demetrius Bivol, just like many.
Yeah, I knew he would.
And looking, and if we're talking about technical, looking how Canelo Alvarez approached the fight with Bivol, he wasn't ready for Bivol.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for Bivol, right? But I remember the day it was announced. I was on a panel on Mad Chad's channel, and I was arguing with a guy called Alex Alberto, and I explained 100% how Bivol beats Canelo, and everything I said in that fight, Bivol did. Right? So I knew both fighters, and I knew who was the better, more skilled fighter going into that fight.
So let me ask you this. Right? You knew that Bivol is the most skillful fighter. You picked Bivol because you
I knew he was better than Canelo. Yes.
Because he's the most skillful fighter.
Yes.
Now you tell me who got the heavier bag? Who got the heaviest bag of technique? Demetrius Andrade or Canelo Alvarez?
What?
Who's the most skillful fighter? Canelo Alvarez.
The more skillful fighter is Andrade. No doubt.
Okay, so Demetrius Andrade can outbox Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, but I think Canelo hits him. I think Canelo hits him at some points during the fight. And can he take Canelo's power? That's my one question. I never had that concern with Bivol.
Okay, no, I'm saying cool. That's fair. Because right there, for me, in my opinion, talking boxing to anybody, that's the fair assessment. We know that Canelo Alvarez has the potential not to get hurt because he got one of the best chins in boxing, or probably the best chin in boxing.
He does.
He could hurt Demetrius Andrade, but Demetrius Andrade could outbox Canelo Alvarez. Even Demetrius Andrade himself said, when I asked him, what do you think of fighting you and Canelo Alvarez? He himself said 50-50. So he is not this guy saying, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to demoralize Canelo Alvarez, go and knock him out. He said it's 50-50. And the way that we just explained the possibility is a 50-50.
Yeah.
So
when he fought Bivol, felt like it was 80-20.
So put it this way. So if we are breaking this, if we could break this fight down and see that, Demetrius Andrade could outbox Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez could probably hurt Demetrius Andrade. And if we could see that could be a 50-50 matchup, why fans are trying to be bodyguards and say, well, Demetrius Andrade haven't fought nobody. I don't give a fuck. That's a 50-50 fight. I don't care who he fought.
Here, it goes to the point, would I like to see Demetrius Andrade fight better opponents? Yes.
Or I would love to. I would have loved to see.
I would have loved to see that too.
Fight better opponents. But
is it wrong for a fan? Is it wrong for a fan? No. And trust me when I tell you, years ago I was a big, massive fan of Demetrius Andrade. I ain't gonna lie. I loved him. But is it wrong to say that I'm disappointed with the way his career went as a fan? Is it wrong for me to say that?
No, it's not. It's not wrong for you to say that.
Well, that's just how I feel, and people call me a hater. That's just how I feel.
No. It's not wrong for you to say that, but it's not wrong for you not to add to the content. Does he have names on his resume? Especially, let's talk about the unification bouts. Let's talk about the real names that we all really wanted him to fight with. Hold on. Has he had the names? Okay, no, but those somebodies wanted to fight him. Could we have Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade unification bout? Who didn't want the fight? Charlo Charlos, they said we blackballing Demetrius Andre. They didn't want a unification bout. Triple G didn't want a unification bout. Canelo Alvarez didn't want it. So yeah, Demetrius Andre don't got the names, but let's not neglect that those somebodies didn't want to fight him. So he ain't got no names. The somebodies didn't want to fight him. Now we could go all the way back and bring out.
I got a rebuttal saying, Punch. I got an article that I've been reading that Steven Espinoza says that they offered Demetrius Andre a fight before he went to the zone, and they said that they've got the document, and I've got the I've read it all. I put it on my channel the other day. That they said that they offered the fight. Charlo said, "Let's bring Andre to the Showtime fight," but Andre was moving into the DAZN platform, and Steven Espinoza says they were not gonna. Charlo wasn't gonna go to a new app, which was a new app at that time that no one trusted. So this is the documents I've been reading that Charlo actually offered the fight to Andre too. Do you know anything about that, Punch? Do you know anything about that?
Guys, what do you? Who was suing? Who was suing who at that time?
But do you know anything about Charlo?
I'm gonna add to the story. Who was suing who at the time?
I don't know about no suing.
Rock Nation was working with Demetrius Andre. Demetrius Andre was suing Rock Nation. Rock Nation is who? Who is Rock Nation?
Jay-Z.
Was Jay-Z and Beyonce suing Al Heyman?
I'm unaware. I don't know.
If it's not boxing, I don't care.
It is boxing. That's the point. That Rock Nation, if everybody's, if business-wise, if people are suing each other, these fights ain't gonna happen. At that time, so you got to understand when a Steven Espinoza says to you, well, the fight with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford is done, we're gonna announce it. You're gonna believe everything these guys just throw at you?
Yeah, because Lara said the same thing though, brother. Edison Lara said the same thing, that Demetrius Andre didn't sign the fight while his camp agreed the fight. Lara said the same thing. Now, this tells you that Steven Espinoza says Demetrius Andre ducked Jamal Charlo during 2019. Steven Espinoza, Demetrius Andre ducked Jamal Charlo during 2019. Now, let me just get off this 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Let me read the rest of it. Right? Now, there's about 10, 15 articles like this. Right? But at the end of the day, you read different points. Within the last 24 hours, Steven Espinoza announced that Showtime offered Demetrius Andre and Charlo the world middleweight unification bout 2019, but Boo Boo rejected that opportunity. Now, regardless that Boo Boo had personal issues, what Steven Espinoza is saying is, Charlo wants the smoke. It's just not our fault that after that he goes and moves on with Eddie Hearn. He said that Charlo knew and Andre knew that he could have come back to negotiate that fight. Now, we know that Andre says that everybody ducked him, but Andre also knows that has been opportunities that he took which were in different avenues.
The Eddie Hearn, but listen. The Eddie Hearn also stated that that Jamal Charlo turned down $7 million.
Yeah, we know that one too.
Did Jamal Charlo stated that we're blackballing Demetrius Andre?
That's what Showtime was saying, that after they offered the money they wanted it on their platform. Ain't gonna happen like that. We wanted it on our platform. And Eddie Hearn, he was cussing Eddie Hearn at that time. He said Espinoza, he said Eddie Hearn thinks that he can come to America, take fighters and put them on an application. And Bob Arum was laughing at Eddie Hearn, saying, who the fuck does he think he is coming over here with an app? And at that time, the DAZN app was like the Black Prime app, the BOK app. Like nobody trusted the BOK app at the moment, right? That's how DAZN had come. So if you remember before, years ago, when DAZN came, who remembers, hey, D Calico, do you remember when DAZN came as an app? People said, what the fuck is this app? Nobody was used to these things. Apps came,
so the business
started to take over boxing.
So the business handlers fucked up the fight, or was it the fight?
Always is business, always.
Okay then.
Yeah, always.
But the committee.
There you But then you can't say he's the most ducked fighter because you know, I've been around fighters my whole life, right? And I've never heard a fighter saying, "I won't fight you for whatever reason." I've never heard that come out of a fighter's mouth.
Yeah, dude just said he.
You just said it. You just heard it with Canelo Alvarez.
Shakur Stevens said, but Andy Cruz said he got fight before. Hear that all the time. Shane Mosley said he had a fight.
What's
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Look, if example, if Earl Spence don't want to fight Abdul Kokorov and he's been sitting as a mandatory, are we going to get on Earl Spence for not fighting Abdul Kokorov? Or are we going to get on Earl Spence not fighting Bud Crawford? This is what I'm saying. Let's not act like we care about the meaningless fights. We don't shame fighters because they don't fight the
but Errol Spence
fight.
said the same thing as Canelo, that Keith Thurman can go fuck himself. I'm not going to fight him either.
Exactly. But some of us, some like me, myself, I don't like that. I want him to fight. If you can't get Bud, get Keith Thurman.
Yeah,
but Errol Spence believes that Keith Thurman, he believes that Keith Thurman didn't want to give him any opportunity at some point.
Here when Keith Thurman became the mandatory for,
regardless of what the reasons were and how he, and when Errol Spence came out in the World Punch and he said in front of the whole world, watch Keith Thurman keep saying I got injuries than rather fight me. He told him in his face, he goes, you're just gonna stay injured until you know I'm coming for it. And he told him this in his face as well. He told him, and then Keith Thurman never said nothing to Errol Spence in his face. He would be saying it to everybody else, but when it came to Errol Spence, Keith Thurman's interviews and the way that he was talking was not as good as what it would be for anyone else, like he wanted to kill everybody else.
Yeah, I'm right.
He got no choice.
This is the one thing I don't like about boxing. I'll tell you now, right? Because I remember when Keith Thurman was the mandatory for Floyd Mayweather, and that fight didn't happen, right? And then right, he goes on, he wins his belt, and then it was Bud Crawford, right? When Bud Crawford moved up, get a belt and come fight me, right? And you know this is a running fucking cycle that keeps going on in boxing, right? You know, then Errol Spence got the belt, and it was the same thing with Bud Crawford, you know, but they made more demands of Bud, and this is a running cycle that goes on and on and on and on and on. You could say every fighter at the top, majority, right? A lot of these guys don't fight each other in their weight classes. And it's just not at 147. This goes on 154. This goes on 160, 168, right? It's an endless freaking cycle, right? Because I've been saying, I said 4 years ago, I would have loved to seen, those two men in front of the screen fight, Canelo and Andrade. I would have loved to seen that 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
Hey,
right?
I would love to. If we're talking about if we're talking about John Ryder and Canelo Alvarez, then I would like to see the Demise Andre and Canelo Alvarez now. If Canelo Alvarez wants to fight John Ryder, if that's who is the competition you want to face, then fight Demise Andre. I don't want to fight. I don't want to see no John Ryder. I want to see Canelo, Charlo. I don't want to see no John Ryder. Nobody really want to see John Ryder.
That's an easy
Bivol rematch.
That's 100% victory with John Ryder. He got 5 losses coming in. That's an easy victory. So it's like Tank Davis fights. You already know the outcome. This is easier than fighting Andre. Like you said, that's a 50-50 fight. He just lost. He's not trying to lose this quick again. He's got to build up his building up his confidence to beat. But I don't think he's never going to fight Andre, as you heard from that speech. He's never going to fight him.
He knows. Look at this. When what pinches the nerve? When he know there's a fighter that's a threat. Was a threat. But not only a threat, I'm talking about a threat that when they beat you, they question your greatness. Because Bivol is the bigger guy. They don't question your greatness because you could, like Canelo Alvarez and his team. We went up there and he was a bigger guy, and at least Canelo Alvarez wanted to try to be great, dare to be great, moving up, knowing that he's a little man. So that's an easy pill to swallow. But
how much though? How much did he make for that loss?
I don't think he lost a lot.
I'm talking about how much.
It's like this.
I heard something like 35 million he made for that fight.
See? Now, how much you gonna get for Andre for you? It's a 50-50 chance you will lose. With Ryder, it's 100% chance you will win. He has 0 chance of winning. I just watched him fight Jacobs.
Is that Ryder
This
fight?
is what it
made?
is. When there is no
Is that Ryder fight
blueprint,
made?
when there is no blueprint of how to beat somebody, whether people like it or not, Demetrius Andrade in the last 6 fights. In the last 6 fights, go check out the scoring. Demetrius Andrade in the last 6 fights lost 2 rounds. In the majority of all judges, 6 fights, 55.
But to be fair with you, Punch.
Rounds, lost 2
but
rounds.
to be fair with you, Punch, that Nicholson guy, yeah, Canelo Alvarez would have folded him in 8, 7, 8
we can
rounds.
say that order. That's the if factor.
Canelo will destroy Nicholson.
That's
destroy
the
the
if
man.
factor. I'm not talking about fairy tales.
Canelo would finish
I seen Berlanga destroy him. I seen Berlanga destroy him. I don't rate Berlanga as a boxer.
Berlanga knocked him down 4 times.
Berlanga
But let me
knocked him
ask
down
everybody
6
this.
times.
Is this the same effect with Keith Thurman? I'm going to ask with the
But
Keith
hold
Thurman
on,
thing,
Rapstar.
Brian.
You called me out. Let me finish this fanboy shit.
No, I ain't saying no fanboy. I never said no fanboy.
No. I'm saying in the beginning, we're not fit. I didn't get.
Oh, you want to go back to that?
Of course, I want to go back to that.
All right, go on.
That's why I came to the panel. I want to go back to that.
Let's do it.
If I want to know, you know what I'm saying, this guy don't even lose rounds. If that's a fact or it's not a fact, because I'm not giving no fairy tales.
It's a Devin Haney. I said in the beginning, Andre's like Devin Haney's big brother.
No punching power. Or boxing skill.
Boxing skill.
And what is Devin Haney now?
Devin Haney's doing great things, but Andre couldn't do those things.
Why is Devin Haney undisputed? Because he was given the opportunity, yes or no?
Opportunity.
Yep. Jab, got that jab popping.
Not only was he given the opportunity, but he took the opportunity when it was given to him.
Maybe that's the reason why Demetrius Andrade is really not where he's at, because he's not getting the opportunity. If he probably get the opportunity,
when he was given an opportunity, he didn't take it.
Or
when he was given the opportunities, he didn't take it.
Be great. Let's talk about these opportunities. Stop running from the opportunities.
I'm not running from the opportunity. I give you another option. When he was given opportunities, maybe he didn't take it.
That's a 3-belt unification bout. That's a 3-belt unification bout. Y'all trying to push this shit under the rug. No, Triple G was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade for a 3-belt unification bout. Charlo and Andrade was supposed to fight. Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight for undisputed. That's legacy. When we're talking about the heavyweight division, we want to see Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. We want to see Bivol versus Beterbiev. We want to see Bud versus Crawford. We want to see Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor. We want to see Paul Butler versus Inoue. We want to see undisputed. That's what we want to see in the middleweight division. Whose fault we did not see the undisputed? Canelo Alvarez. Why nobody want to say that?
Got him.
Why nobody wants to be man enough to say that we did not get the undisputed in middleweight division, one of the most historic.
I've already said that, though.
Shut the fuck up and let me finish.
Why?
The lucrative division in the sport of boxing. Why nobody wants to say Canelo Alvarez ducked the undisputed? It's plain and simple, bro. It's plain and simple.
He ducked. Yep.
Yeah, but I already said that, though, about shut the fuck up. We already fucking said that.
All right, then.
But the fans don't want to recognize that. Why don't you recognize that? The fans don't want to recognize that.
All right,
even though we recognize that.
So they want to be fake. Y'all want to be fake. Y'all want to lie to your. Y'all don't want to look in the mirror and be fake. That's what it is. So they the fanboys of Canelo Alvarez.
But are you telling me? Punch though? A serious question here. That Andrade didn't have opportunities, or he had opportunities, and for whatever reason he didn't take them?
He had opportunities, but at that time, like let's say Jamel Charlo was not a champion. These guys was on the come up. Now, of course, if we would have fought Jermell Charlo and beat Jermell Charlo, let's say Jermell Charlo is the undisputed today, like he is now.
Yeah, but
then
was Demond
it holds
Peterson the
the
champion?
weight. It holds the weight. But around that time, he wasn't a champion, and
Was Nate
nobody's
Williams the champion?
neglecting. Look, I'm not neglecting the fact that fight should have happened. I'm not neglecting the fact that probably the Lara fight should have happened. I'm not neglecting the fight that he didn't want to fight Janabek or Zach Parker. But let's not act like the middleweight, the Triple G, the Charlo, the Canelo Alvarez is like little fights, like it's the same as Janabek. Nobody cared about Janabek. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
I want to see
Nobody
Janabek
cared
fight.
about Zach Parker. Those are not the legacy fight. He was already getting critiqued. Demetrius Andre was already getting critiqued by fighting mandatories and name that we cannot pronounce.
If he would have beat Janabek, I would have given him a lot of credit.
That would have done nothing to his legacy.
Yeah, but I would have given him a lot of credit.
Nothing to his legacy.
Janabek, I think, he's a very good fighter.
That would have done absolutely
well,
nothing.
maybe Canelo feels the exact same way now.
No, he wouldn't. You know why? Because he would have been undisputed in the middleweight division.
Let me say,
not the same.
Danny Garcia left 140 because Victor Postol was his mandatory. Then Crawford coming up.
Demetrius Andre didn't fight a mandatory. Canelo Alvarez didn't fight Demetrius Andre so he could become a middleweight undisputed. But nobody cares about it because it's Demetrius Andre. We care about every undisputed in boxing. But when it came down to Canelo, Demetrius Andre, oh no, it was Golden Boy's fault. It was the business of boxing. It wasn't Canelo Alvarez. It was Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, so people understand now how to blame the business of boxing when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. But with Demetrius Andre, oh no, he pulled out. No, he is contra. No, it's him. He don't know how to handle the business deals. Oh, Canelo Alvarez, what happened to Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy promotion? What happened? Canelo Alvarez don't know how to read the contract. He just be signing shit. The Canelo Alvarez has been doing fucked up business as well. Let's not forget that it was somebody that had to buy him out. Remember, Golden Boy Promotions was paying his Mexican promoter during these fights. Canelo Alvarez wasn't handling his business. The good thing about Canelo Alvarez, he got the opportunity. He got the opportunity to say no to one legacy. Canelo Alvarez has the opportunity to say no to one legacy fight in the Demetrius Andre and pick up a 3-division world champion fight in Kovalev.
But if you really know your boxing,
this business is about opportunity. Nobody got the opportunity.
No, I got a question. I got a question to ask.
But let me just say the question can come after this. Oscar De La Hoya gave Canelo Alvarez his major opportunity globally. It was Oscar De La Hoya who laid out the red carpet at some point for his American audience and what he was doing to promote him as well. People better not forget Oscar De La Hoya. That was his guy. Canelo was his guy. All right, but yeah, go on. You got a question, bro?
Yeah, I got a question for Punch. Putting everything aside with him being your friend and how he does interviews with you, like, would you agree?
Everybody that does an interview with me is my buddy, or my breaking boxing down. Is y'all gonna come after me like that?
Can I finish?
Y'all your MO all the time?
Can I finish?
I had an interview with Canelo Alvarez. Is he my friend?
You're sounding emotional right
now.
Go
on. Get your question off, brother.
Let me sound how I found. I always sound with high. I'm high octane, bro. I got high octane, bro. Y'all gotta bring that fire when y'all talking to me.
No. But let's be civil.
Get the question off.
Let's be civil. I can't get my question if he's interrupting me, Rastar. That's what you don't get.
Yeah, go on.
So what I'm saying is, like, Jermell wasn't a champion. Janabek wasn't a champion. Are you saying he still shouldn't give them an opportunity? Why should Canelo give Demetrius Andre the opportunity?
My goodness,
Why don't you answer that?
Guy, look. It's like
a real boxer.
It's like I could break shit down so many times. Look.
No, but you can't break it down though.
My brother, I am breaking it down. Like, it's easy. Listen, just listen. Humble yourself. Canelo Alvarez fighting Demetrius Andre was also a legacy fight for Canelo Alvarez. Y'all making it just like y'all making it like
Andre done? What has Andre done that was so like legacy defining for Canelo?
Say it again.
You not looking at the undisputed. You would have been the
It's
undisputed.
like, yo, it's like that's what I mean. Like when it comes to Demetrius Andre and Canelo Alvarez, I'm not talking about Canelo Alvarez. Don't have to fight Demetrius Andre
now, though. Like,
but I'm just saying, y'all hate him so much that y'all not understanding the Canelo Alvarez right now. If he would have fought Demetrius Andre, he could have become a 2-division, the only male in the history of the sport of boxing to become a 2-division undisputed champion.
No,
he didn't get his opportunity.
I'm talking about now, though. Like now, why now? Like why should he fight? Why should Canelo fight Andre? Like what does he put? What does he bring?
The same reason he's fighting John Ryder if he fights.
No one's defending him to fight Ryder. No one's defending that.
Okay, then. So who you want Canelo Alvarez to fight?
Benavidez.
All right, but David Benavidez is fighting Caleb Plant. So
I'd like to fight. I'd like to fight Bivol in the rematch.
All right, okay. That's hey, go get your licks back. I don't mind that fight.
No. We're talking about Andre, okay? We're not talking about Bivol.
All right, so that's what I'm saying.
No. Don't bring up Bivol, bro.
You're undisputed right now. Canelo Alvarez is undisputed right now, right?
Yes.
The David Benavidez is hooked on a fight with Caleb Plant, right? Charlo is still at 160, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now at 168, you tell me the name that you want to see Canelo Alvarez fight.
David Morrell. David Morrell. Yeah, David Morrell.
7-0. You want
how many vacant titles? How many vacant titles has Andrade won though?
How many world titles?
Danny Mariosian, I remember in 2013.
Mariosian and the
you see my point. You see the point I'm trying to say, right?
Katawakalama, something like that.
You see the point I'm trying to make, right?
And Matthew put him on his ass, if I believe.
But look. You know, like he asked me the question, why should he fight Demetrius Andre? Why shouldn't he fight Demetrius Andre?
Because they not paying him enough. He got 100% chance of winning. You're going to have to put another $15 million on to fight a 50-50 fight. Why you not listening to that?
But remember, Canelo Alvarez took $5 million less to fight Kovalev. He could have got $4 million.
And you seen how this motherfucker fought different than he ever fought in his whole career. He fighting off the back foot, throwing a jab. You don't even fight like that. That's why he took that shit. But in a real 50-50 fight, you're going to have to pay him.
If Bivol says, I don't want Canelo, I'm gonna wait for Yard and Beterbiev and fight for the undisputed, we should have wanted that fight.
Wait, he's not for that.
You're on undisputed as well. Give me undisputed.
Y'all want Morrell that got 8 fights.
I prefer undisputed than Canelo.
Morrell champion. Morrell champion.
Morrell's not ready. Morrell's not ready for Canelo. He's not ready for.
Right? He's a champion though.
This guy,
I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's ready to fight those guys yet.
Demetrius Andre been calling out this man since he was the WBO 154 when Canelo Alvarez was second rank. So 2014. We're going on a decade right now, and you telling me that a Morrell that got 8 fights should get the fight over Demetrius Andre?
Yes, because you know why? He didn't give Janabek and Jermel Charlo an opportunity.
You don't know pronounce Janabek's last name right now.
Janabek
Akaduliev.
The fuck out of here, man.
Hey man, but why do you? Who cares, bro? Who cares about how you pronounce their names, bro?
Man,
nobody cared about Janabek, bro. The only reason you know who Janabek is
let me talk. No. I'm not gonna let you talk over me.
Nobody was asking for that fight.
I'm not gonna let you talk over me, bro. I'm not gonna let you talk over me like you always do, bro.
Everybody that speaks Janabek or Parker or John Ryder is happy their ass off,
bro. I'm tired of all this dick riding, bro. Just because you do interviews with him, bro. I'm tired of that shit.
I'm tired of your mother sucking my dick too.
Real quick though.
I'm tired of that shit, bro. No,
I'm tired of your mother sucking my dick too.
What's up, Rap?
Because you won't answer my question, bro.
The fuck out of here, man.
Answer my question.
You want to answer my question? Send a motherfucking super chat.
Nah, bro, we're not in your channel, bro. We in Rat Star Boxing Knowledge, bro.
So talk to Rat Star, bitch.
Bro.
So
you don't run shit, bro.
Who the fuck are you anyway?
You don't run shit. You don't run shit, okay?
Who the fuck are you anyway? If I don't run shit, why you asking me questions?
When you come here,
if I don't run shit, why you asking me questions?
When you come here, you don't talk over.
If you don't run shit, why you asking me questions?
You don't talk over people, bro. That's not how it works,
bro. If I don't run shit here, why you asking me questions, bitch ass motherfucker?
Hey, don't be disrespectful, all right?
Man, I'll slap the shit out you, bro.
No, you ain't doing nothing, bro. You
I'll
ain't
slap
doing
the
nothing.
shit out you.
You ain't doing
Hey,
nothing,
rap.
bro.
Was it you that was
Ain't
time
doing
out?
nothing.
What's up,
Time
man?
out.
You ain't with it.
Was it
You're not with it, bro.
was it you? Was
Hey,
it
rap,
you
what's
that
up?
was emailing me?
What's up, rap? What up, rap?
Email. Oh, that's wild.
Thanks for dropping that shit,
Let's
man.
keep it moving. We got lots of guests
Hey,
in the
rap.
back
Was
of
it
the
you that was
building.
emailing me? I told you to
Come
meet
on,
me
let's
somewhere
go.
and you
Let's
ain't
keep it
show up,
moving.
bitch.
Hey, rap.
All right, let's keep
Hey,
this
rap.
moving, bro, because people want to talk some boxing. Yeah, who's in the
Hey, what's
channel?
up,
Who's
rap?
that, bro?
What
Who's
up,
that?
rap?
You
Thanks for welcoming
fraud?
me to your channel,
Fuck
brother.
out of here.
Hey, Punch. I never emailed you once, bro. I don't even know what
Hey,
your
rap.
email is, bro.
All right, but you know what? You know
Who
my,
is that,
but you
bro?
know my face.
Hey,
Let me see
rap.
your
What up,
face.
brother?
Let me see your face.
Who is
So
that,
I,
bro?
hey, yo, put it
Punch.
this way.
Hey,
Let me
rap.
I
see
don't
your
know.
face.
Who
Punch.
is it?
So
Punch.
I know if I go
Punch.
to a fight where you
Punch.
at,
I
I'll
don't
smack the
know,
shit
bro.
out you
I
and we
don't
go
know you
live.
like
All right,
that,
can
bro.
I
Show
talk
your
to the
fucking
guest
face.
right now? I'm
How
back.
about
I'm
that?
back. Can I listen? Can I talk to the guest right now? Who's
Show
this,
your
bro?
face.
Hey,
So I
what's
know
All
up,
right,
who
rap?
you are.
I
You know
talk
how
Mute.
I
to
look
me.
like.
appreciate
I
Mute
All
want
right,
to know
let's
how
him.
you look
let
like.
me
You
keep
talk
it
that
moving
greasy
now.
shit. You talk
Mute
that
him.
greasy shit. I
Bro,
want to know how
you
you
don't
look like,
start acting tough,
motherfucker.
Punch. Start acting
Hey,
tough,
rap.
bro.
Look
Stop
at
being
you,
All
bro.
right,
fake,
Cause
come
you
on,
bro.
some
man. This is
pussies
the
out here,
internet,
bro.
bro.
Y'all bunch
This
of
is the
pussies out
internet.
here in these
Yeah,
streets.
no, it
Get
is
the
the
fuck
internet.
out of
You
This
here,
got
is the
Punch
Rex.
fucking
talking
internet.
hard.
Come on,
You
guys.
got
Let's
Punch
keep
talking
talking.
hard,
Cocksucker.
talking
Hey,
crazy,
rap.
bro.
All right,
Look.
let's keep it moving
Straight
then.
up
Let's not go
cocksucker, you
there.
pussy.
We don't need to go to that conversation then. Let's
Hey,
keep it
rap.
moving then.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, tell
Thank
Punch
you,
that,
rap.
bro.
I appreciate,
Man,
man.
shut the fuck
Hey, I
up.
Yeah, who
appreciate
is
it, man.
that though, bro? Who are you? Who are you talking to me? Who is it?
It's me, Banner of the Sun, man. Thanks for welcoming me to your channel, man, into the studio. I got
Yeah.
a quick a rundown for what you should do. A quick suggestion, man, is that let everybody talk, put everybody else on mute, and if they
No,
get
I
out
don't
of
want to
line,
do that, bro. I'm not a
mute
kindergarten
fast.
teacher, bro.
Okay, but real quick, man, back to this Canelo Andre thing, man.
Yeah,
Back
respect for you to come
back
onto the panel.
2019, man. 2019,
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez petitioned the IBF to fight Andrade for undisputed, but he had a mandatory in Sergey Derevyanchenko. Negotiations fell through. He got stripped. He moved to 168. That's a fact.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm gonna come right
What they
back.
got
I'm
to
gonna get
say
some
about
food. All
that?
right, Rockstar. I'll be back. Okay.
Say it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Say it again. Say it again. So I
Say
can
about
debunk
that.
this. Say it again.
He wants to debunk it.
I
Say
said
it again.
Canelo Alvarez petitioned the IBF to fight
When?
Andrade at 160. In 2019. Look it up, brother. Just look it up
I
real
know
quick. It's
what
quick and
date.
simple, man.
What date? I'm gonna get you right here. So I'm giving you the opportunity
All you gotta
get
type
yourself
in.
out of a
All you got to
hole.
type in is Canelo
Look,
petitions
I'm giving you
IBF.
the opportunity. I'm giving you the opportunity to get out the hole. They petitioned for the fight August 1st. Am I right?
August 1st.
Okay, then.
Most
When
likely
did they
August
send
1st.
us? Okay.
I got
All
to
right.
go back and look
I'm
it up.
letting you right now. I'm giving you heads
But
up
check it
right
out,
now.
okay? But check it out.
You're talking to
Okay, check
Mr.
it out real
Moonshine.
quick.
So I'm letting you know right now.
Oh my
I'm letting you
God,
know
man!
right
Hey, this
now.
dude
So you
is
can.
emotional, homie.
Okay.
You gotta
All right.
mute this
So
Yeah,
motherfucker,
exactly. That's
bro.
what I've been trying to say, bro. Like he won't. You gotta stay like
Hey, man. You know
balanced,
what I
bro.
hey,
mean?
You
yo,
can't get
bro. Look,
emotional,
I'm
This
man.
dude's
helping you
disrespectful,
out though.
homie. He can't even keep it clean.
My brother,
Exactly.
my
This
brother,
guy,
You
my
you
talking
brother,
can't
my
about
keep
meeting
brother.
it,
up,
keep
My
it
yo,
clean,
brother.
bro.
you
You
talking
said,
about meeting
look,
up.
my
We
brother,
talking
my
about
brother.
boxing, bro.
I asked you a
Dog,
question.
man.
Look, my brother. Okay.
Nah,
I asked you a
I'm the one
question. You
spitting the
said, I
game right
said,
now, bro.
my brother. I said
I'm the
August
one
1st.
spitting
You
the
say
game real
yes,
quick.
right?
You hear what I said? I said Canelo
Okay.
Alvarez petitioned the IBF at 160 to fight Andrade for undisputed.
Yes.
He got stripped of the
August
title because
1st.
negotiations fell through with Sergey Derevyanchenko. Look
Okay.
it up.
Now,
That's a fact, man.
all right.
That's not deniable.
Can I get this? Let me get this right quick. August 1st, they petitioned for the fight, right? August 1st.
Go ahead, speak. Speak. I'm not
Yes or
gonna say
no?
it.
I
Go
want
ahead,
you to
man. Shut up.
understand. I don't want to talk like that. August 1st, Golden Boy petition for the fight. August 1st, the purse bid was July 23rd. After July 23rd, you can't get out of that fight. You can't get Canelo Alvarez can't get another fight. If he gets another fight, he gets stripped or he got to vacate the title. He
And that's
fought
what
Daniel
happened to that.
Jacobs. He fought Danny Jacobs May 4th.
He got stripped because negotiations with
Well, back then, I thought Danny
Listen
Jacobs was a tougher opponent.
to me, because I'm
Shevchenko priced
adding.
himself out.
Listen to me, because I'm gonna correct you, or I'm gonna add to what you're not trying to say. He fought Danny Jacobs May 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. Am I right? 11 to 12 days, the IBF ordered Derevchenko and Canelo Alvarez team to negotiate, right? In the span of May 5th And July 23rd, Golden Boy Promotions have the opportunity to sign an extension before the purse bid, because after the purse bid, July 23rd, you cannot try to file an extension to get the unification bout, because that's it. The purse bid is there. Those are the rules, my brother. So from May 5th, July 23rd, Golden Boy Promotions had the chance to sign the extension, not deal with their Sergey Derevchenko, and get the Mise Andre fight. The reason why they signed the extension on August 1st was because the IBF already notified that they will get stripped if they don't handle their business with Sergey Derevchenko. That was to save his belt, not to fight the Mise Andre, because if they wanted to, they would have never got into negotiation with Sergey Derevchenko in the first place. Canelo Alvarez's team will instruct his team on May 5th, on May 5th, that Monday morning, on May 6th, to sign the extension and negotiate with the Mise Andre's team.
Let's hear the rebuttal.
Let me know.
Let me hear the rebuttal now. I want to hear this shit.
Now go Google.
Because he came with some good evidence, both of y'all. Shit, I like that. He said he ducked Canelo, then he came back with it. Now come back with your rebuttal. Is Canelo playing games, or is he ducking a guy, a slick fighter, which we know he got problems with? It's an easy fight.
What is your problem with seeing Boo Boo and Canelo fight? I don't understand this.
It's not a problem.
Like,
I don't know why. Some people just hate Boo Boo. I'm not a
don't
fan
want
of
him to
Boo
fight
Boo, but I'm cool with the fight.
So you cool if the fight that all I hear is people say,
fan.
"Oh, he shouldn't do it. He doesn't deserve this and
Yeah.
that and that." Like
I am a fan of Boo Boo.
That's nonsense.
I just hate the way his career's gone. That's it.
Yeah, that's
I just
true.
don't like.
But that don't got
You're
nothing
right.
to do with him, right? Like,
So did I
don't care long as shit
did I
gets brought up
clarify?
when somebody's
Did I clarify
time to
that?
fight.
See, that's what look, my brother. That's what happens when you go to them other Canelo Alvarez narrative channels and they feed you some bullshit, and then you run into a real one that's going to feed you the truth.
What city is he fighting Ryder in? Is he fighting over in his country?
Yeah, nobody had a problem with that fight though. That's wow.
Yeah, I got a problem with that fight. I don't want to see that.
No, but that's for Canelo. What about Canelo? Y'all got to look at it from his perspective. That's an easy fight. Why wouldn't he want an easy fight? I mean, why would he want to fight somebody? Look at it from his perspective. Why the fuck would he want to fight Andre when he can fight Ryder?
His legacy. The next minute it's
yeah, you can fight legacy the next fight, but you just coming off a loss.
He's coming off
fighting an easy fight.
What does that have to do with anything? If you believe you won the fight, like how he said.
At the same time, I saw Lamont Peter, or what is, I was going to call him Lamont, Damon Peter, whatever his name is, right? Andrade the weekend. I thought that would have been an easy fight. You know, I saw that as a tune-up, and I know it was his first fight at 168. So don't get me wrong, but as I said before, I saw a guy I do not rate beat the shit out of this guy. Put him down 6 times.
Oh yeah, Edgar Berlanga, yeah.
Edgar Berlanga.
Edgar Berlanga's, he's been at that way. He's big for that way too.
I know he's big. I know he's
and
big.
Andre's a smaller guy,
way, right? But we're talking about a classy boxer.
And we're talking about somebody that they were kind of exchanging more. Edgar Berlanga didn't show no defense. He was on his back foot a lot of. Andre fights different. He was fighting more smart on his back foot, being slick,
yeah,
not
but the
getting hit.
first two rounds, he came out seek and destroy mode. Right?
Yeah,
then he
I
found
think
out
he came
that this
out
guy
the
could
first
take
2
his
rounds getting
power.
respect his power.
He found out that this guy could take his power, and then he went back and he went slick boxing.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
and not just that. Right.
That's his thing, though.
Not just that. I thought he tired in round 8 and 9.
You said what?
I thought he tired in the 8th and 9th round, and he came back strong in the 10th.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I thought he slowed down. I thought he slowed down a lot. Andrade on the weekend there. I thought he slowed down the eighth and ninth, but he came out on strong in the 10th.
But
Dang, no rebuttal.
then it's not unpopular for a fighter to take off a round.
I know.
But his focus is.
But I don't think he slowed down. I just think he took a couple of body shots and he slowed down. He looked a bit flashy as well. At 168, I ain't gonna lie.
But his
But
focus is.
I would like to see the fight if he doesn't fight Bivol. I would rather see him fight Andre instead of Ryder, of course. But after that, it don't matter if he fight.
He shouldn't fight Bivol. Bivol is ridiculous.
Chance, bro. Does Andre even deserve a chance?
But I'm talking about as a
Yeah.
fighter, like
Of
bro,
course.
you need to get
Why
that
not?
look back. You definitely.
Why don't
should.
Andre? You don't think he
Even though I
deserve a
don't think
chance?
he
No, he
can get
doesn't,
back
bro.
because
He
it's an
literally
L.
did not give Janabek and Charlo a chance, bro. Like
Who
I
the
get what you're
fuck?
saying.
Hold on.
But you saying that mean he shouldn't fight? That mean Canelo shouldn't fight him?
Yeah, bro, he doesn't deserve it. Like I said, bro, he didn't.
So who did Ryder beat to fight Canelo then?
I'm not defending that. I'm not saying he should fight Ryder either.
I don't think he should fight Ryder.
So Canelo saying,
answer my question.
you didn't
I'm
get
back.
a chance to
Answer my
Janabek, so
question.
I'm
Look,
not
I'm
gonna
not here to
fight
be
you.
No, but I'm saying why y'all don't realize the Derek Chisora effect? Okay, I gotta get my partner. I gotta get my partner some money. It's a friendly this is I'm putting money in your bank.
Bro, why would Canelo be friendly with Andre, bro? He literally came to his press conference just bro. So why would he?
Yeah. Now you proving our point. That's our point. No, he proved it. You're right. You're right about that.
Fight Ryder than Boo Boo.
Huh?
You rather see him fight Ryder than Boo Boo?
No, I wouldn't. But still, though, he doesn't.
So you rather see him fight Boo Boo?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, instead of Ryder.
Okay, then. So what the fuck are we talking about?
But he doesn't deserve.
No, he made the good point. Like you said, it's personal. He don't want to fight him. Like he just said, it's the styles. He just shows you right there.
He don't want him to fight him. But we all know why Canelo don't want to fight him.
The weekend, I'll be like, if I'm Canelo, I'm like, let me at him.
Hey, but keep it real though.
He doesn't impress me, Andrade. He doesn't impress me.
Admit that, guys. You gotta admit it. He doesn't deserve
you also not in the ring, so you don't know what he's looking at.
Yeah, but
you don't know what he got problems
I've been in the ring.
I've been in the ring,
so don't pull that bullshit
I
with
pay
me.
money to watch the fights, right?
I didn't say if you did or not. I said you ain't in the ring.
Bro, I'm telling you, I pay money to watch the fight, so I deserve to get.
But I was out of the ring and I saw what I saw. Just like this guy did. I can have an opinion.
Look, man.
Yeah, but obviously he sees something you don't see. Obviously he sees something you don't see.
Bivol is a guaranteed loss.
Some people got funny. I was like Mikey Garcia and his daddy. I see some in Spence. I see it. Get your ass beat. What did you see? Exactly.
And just like we know Canelo gonna beat Ryder, we know that Bivol gonna beat Canelo. It's not even a fucking fight. It's a 90% chance Bivol beat his ass.
Well, this is why I want to see it at 168. So all them excuses talking about some, no, it was the weight.
No, why you want to fight him at 168? That's not fair.
Ain't nobody can match Canelo Alvarez's legacy, so nobody deserves a Canelo fight.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not fair to fight at 168.
If people going with
Can
that
I ask a question though about that, right?
Can I ask a question?
Why would Bivol move down to 168 to fight Canelo and then go up?
Then nobody deserves a Canelo Alvarez because ain't nobody not even have a quarter of what Canelo Alvarez has done.
Yeah, Bivol, that's retarded for him to come down to 168. Of course.
And then move back up to 175 to fight
but
the
he's
person.
not a big guy though. He can do it.
No, he can't, man. That's his natural weight.
Come on, my nigga.
Not against no Canelo. No, I'm saying.
How the fuck you know what he can and can't do with his body?
He's 175. When have he fought? No, who did it? Well, you give me one example of anybody that went down and weight and whooped ass. That's like Mayweather dropping to 140 to whoop somebody. Nobody does that. That's why Roy got fucked up by a target.
Tank Davis.
Well, no, that's not how Roy got fucked up by Thurman. If you're gonna say that, you gotta tell the whole story.
No, Tank Davis ain't do that shit. He didn't go up to 140, then come down to 135 and get the championship. He didn't do that. Don't say what he did. He didn't do it. He didn't go up to 140.
No. When Tank Davis at 135, he moved down to 130 to fight Leo Santa Cruz. He was coming up from 126. That's the only time I can remember.
He fought at 135 and came down to 130.
Yeah. When he fought Leo Santa Cruz.
He don't have no champion in that championship at 135. He got the championship at 130.
What
is the champion? Now we moving the goalposts. Now they had to have a championship.
No,
You
I'm
just said
saying
name somebody.
No, I said name one person that became champion at their division, then came down and won the championship. It doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Only guy dude did that was
All I
Tarver.
heard
That's
was
what I
name
said.
somebody.
No, I said you said Bivol. He come down to 168. That's how you get him to lose
Well,
the fight.
Championship or not, it don't matter. If your body can do it, you can do it. Bivol not.
No, have he done it? Has he done it yet? No, name one person that done it.
Who has he need to do it for though?
No.
Context matters. Who is he gonna do it for?
Did you see what Andre Ward did to Chad Dawson? Chad Dawson got knocked out by Andre Ward by doing the same shit. That's
You
dumb.
talking about Andre fucking Ward? We talking about Canelo Alvarez,
And that, yeah, you giving him a supreme advantage. And if he does that, that's okay. Don't be surprised if Bivol lose. Yeah, because he's putting himself at a disadvantage.
No. My thing with that there, right? Bivol moves down. He moves down to 168, right? He fights Canelo, right? It's a disadvantage for him because then he has to go back up to 175 and probably fight Beterbiev at some point down the road.
It is a disadvantage for him. But if he's willing to do it because it's legacy, let him do it.
I think he beats Canelo. Doesn't matter.
I think he beats him too.
When was the last time? When was the last time Bivol fought him?
Hold on.
Has he ever fought there?
He could push back the better BF fight as long as he wants.
So y'all, I'm saying, but that's like saying, okay, so that's like saying Tank Davis drop down to 130 and fight Shakur Stevenson. That's gonna put him at a disadvantage. No, it's going against gravity. That's what I'm saying. You making it too hard for him.
No one's saying it's not a disadvantage. I don't think you not hearing. We're not saying it's
but I'm saying, but name in boxing history when a person has done. That's what I'm saying. That's going against the logic.
We're not disagreeing here. Listen, it is a disadvantage, but he can still win.
I think he beats Canelo.
I think Canelo still beats him. I think he still beats Canelo. Easy. He just, it's that excuse of, it's the weight, and this, that, and the third. That's all people kept saying, but nobody said that shit when he already went up to 175 and talking about he went to go fight Bivol for legacy. He already did that. So
based on your logic,
he already did the shit.
Okay, let me test your logic out there.
He could have been fought Boo-Boo.
Let me ask you this one question. Based on this logic, you telling me Teofimo Lopez could drop down to 135 and give Lomachenko a rematch?
Lord fucking Christ, no.
So that's the same thing.
How many times do I gotta tell you? We are not disagreeing.
No, I'm saying.
Let me say it again. We are not disagreeing. And then you talking about Teofimo.
I'm back in my own channel. I'm back in my own motherfucking channel. Give me
trash.
Welcome back,
everybody just chill. Everybody just chill. We got Nonito Donaire, we got Rachel Donaire in the building, and then we got Mirage. Yes, Rachel and Nonito. I think Nonito's coming to do a fact check on people.
Oh yeah, well we just heard that you guys were saying no one goes down in weight. It's never been done. Blah 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 blah.
I think Nonito did it.
Nonito went 112, 115, 118, 122, 126, went all the way back to 18, won 2 belts at 18, and he's willing to go back to 15 to grab the 5th title.
But who else has done that, Rachel?
I don't know.
Hey, look at the
name a fighter. I just named a fighter.
You know,
I can remember going down and weight was Tarver. That's it. Antonio Tarver.
Yeah, but is he right in saying?
Yep, he beat Tarver. He beat Tarver.
I can't hear you, Rapstar.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is he right in? So we now know Nonito Donaire has done what he's saying that hasn't been done, but also we don't probably know any other fighter who's probably done that probably.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Bivol, he's not that really big of a guy.
Thank you.
He said that. What was he walking around at? Like it wasn't that much at the BA.
I think it was 172. I heard.
Yeah, he's not that big. I mean, freaking Morel made him look tiny. Like it was crazy. Morel's huge compared to Bivol.
Yeah,
like
Morel's
he
really big.
Yeah, and Morel fights at what 160?
168.
Yeah, and he's huge. That guy's a huge guy, and made Bivol look like he was tiny.
For 147, you know.
What's that?
Yeah, that's what I said. I think he still beats him very easy, very comfortable. It's gonna be the same thing, but except for there ain't gonna be no excuse now. Even though that excuse didn't have no merit with me the first time. He's too big. No, he wasn't.
Well,
I think
It's just his skills. He's just better than you.
Here's the excuse.
So
Canelo agreed to fight him
wait,
at
Mastermind.
175.
We
There's
gotta
your
give
excuse. That's
Mastermind
it.
the floor because Rachel just came out with the facts that Nonito has done. So Mastermind, what you got to say about that?
This is what I say. I think by him fight, if he's been fighting at 175 for years, I think when he drained himself 7 pounds from 175 to 168, I think that conditioning, that training camp, enough alone, he won't be the same. I think it's a good chance it hurts his body. I think it's too, because I think they've been fighting at 175 so long. That's why Dawson got knocked out so quick by Andre Ward, because he was just too weak coming in the ring. And I think if Mayweather drops down to 140 to challenge them guys, Crawford and them back when he was active, he putting himself at a severe disadvantage. He coming in comfortable. He don't want to try to lose 7
It's the
pounds.
difference between cutting weight and draining yourself, though.
I agree.
Like he would just have, if he's walking around at 172, that's just a simple weight cut. Simple changing your diet.
I agree with Mastermind. The issue is not a fighter that's coming from below, moving up and coming back down. Bivol never fought below 175.
Thank you.
He never fought. This is not the influctuation of weight coming up, down, up, down. Nah, he never fought at 170.
Never.
I think
him now to
it'd be a
fight
disadvantage.
at 168.
You guys are missing the point. Hang on.
At 168, he started his career doing catch weights at 180, 179. You know what I'm saying? Later on, now he's getting these championship bouts. Now he's strictly on 175. To ask him to come down to 168 for what?
True.
What does he got to prove at 168?
Undisputed.
Dude,
Legacy.
do you think? Hang on. Do you think Canelo's going to give Bivol the chance to take all his belts at 168?
That's also a valid reason.
If he loses, if he
I think he will,
loses,
but he has a chance. He has a
if he
chance.
loses to Bivol at 168, where is
I don't
Canelo?
think he wants
He's
that
got no
fight.
belts. He got owned in both divisions. It's too much to risk. He's never.
Yeah,
he's
But
not
it's a
going to
good
fight
chance
in
he wins.
168.
I think you put him at. I think he's 65% favorite. If you get that man to drop down after he became champion to a weight division he never fought at, it's a severe disadvantage. Okay,
And then
no. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
I think Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez is currently doing what you talking about. Won a championship at a higher division, went down. He done been bouncing all around. Wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's a whole different type of topic because these guys already fought in that division coming up and down. We're asking Bivol that never fought in the lower division. We asking the guy that beat Canelo Alvarez fair and square, large margin, to drain himself to get a rematch.
When Bam Bam went up those two divisions, he never fought at that weight before.
Who?
You said up. We talking about coming down.
We're talking about coming down.
That's how you get a fighter. That's how he gonna win the fight.
Yeah,
why you think Grizz?
Hold on. So if he walks around, if he walk around at 172, you think that's
he don't walk around in no 172? He do not walk around in no 172. That's a
But
flat
you guys
out
now, hold on here now. There's not many fighters. Even what Nonito's done, going up, going down, no, staying down, then going up, then going up, then going back down, right? There's not many fighters who like to go back down once they've been up at a certain weight.
That's
now,
harder to go down.
Now, with Nonito winning championship belts at a lower weight class, you know, at the end of the day, him maintaining his weight, there's not many fighters who do it that way. They normally, when they go up, they stay at that weight. Normally.
Thank you, gentlemen. Because if it was that easy, Crawford would go down and get Josh Taylor belt. But he gonna put himself at a disadvantage fighting at 140. He just lose
we know that. We
No.
know that.
So here's my thing, guys.
saying
You guys punch. Let me go because I'm gonna leave because I got to get up at 4:30 anyway. It's already 11. But pretty much what I wanted to say was, you know, first of all, Bivol was the one that said that he'd go down. So I'm not going to stay here and think I know what's best for him. He knows his body. Nonito knows his body. People said that Nonito couldn't do it. There's a lot of people that doubt people moving up and people moving down. So I'm not going to doubt, because if you're saying you can make 168, then I'm going to believe you until you prove me wrong. Number two, we're not arguing about, I mean, if you guys are arguing weights, go ahead and argue weights all damn night. But if you're talking about stylistically, what made Canelo lose? It's not like Bivol is gonna lose height. He's not gonna lose the way that he fights. He's not gonna lose the IQ in that ring. What beat Canelo Alvarez was an extraordinary game plan because of the fact that Canelo overlooked Bivol and couldn't figure out how to throw any more shots than 1-2 from the wrong range and the wrong distance. So it's not going to take away from his boxing.
Yep. Here, Bivol.
What about feeling comfortable? He might not feel
What do y'all
comfortable.
not get about this?
There was a part in the
Arguing
sixth
about
round.
nothing.
There was a part in the sixth round where he had Bivol had Canelo on the ropes, and after
He
the
was waving
flurry,
him in.
Canelo calls him in, and Bivol looks at him, go, "No, you're coming out to the center of the ring. You're fighting my fight." Discipline beat him. Boxing ability beat him. Skill beat him.
Yep.
Everything
And the weight drain killed. The weight drain killed my boy, the greatest fighter of all time, Roy Jones Jr. When he dropped all that weight, he was never the same.
No,
He went against nature.
it's because Roy was playing with his weight too much. He went all the way up to heavyweight, came back, was over here taking
And
drugs.
then he should have retired.
That's what
All he had to do
Canelo.
was retire right there at the Tarver win.
But still, we're still comparing a guy that already fought in that weight to a guy that never cut that weight.
Yep.
Never cut that weight. And we're asking him to fight, never cut that weight, to fight Canelo Alvarez.
We're not asking him.
We're not asking him. He put it out there.
Did you see what happened to Chris Bird when he turned?
People come in with this up and down shit.
He said that. Yeah, but he said
Don't compare Nonito. Don't compare Nonito. Don't compare Bam Rodriguez. Don't compare Roy Jones Jr. Don't give me none of these names. Give me the name of a guy that went back down, all the way down, not to come up and down. Give me a name that came back down.
No. We telling you, Roy was the only one talented enough to do it, to go all the way to heavyweight, come down, and then win the light heavyweight champ. But most people lose.
He's still a guy that fought in that. He's still a guy that fought in that weight.
I don't even think that matters, because if he said he can do it, I believe him.
Man,
He doesn't look like,
but history tells you otherwise.
He's too big to come down.
That's money, bro. If you're telling me that, look, if he fights Canelo Alvarez, he's not gonna get the $2 million. He can actually ask for $15 million. If you're telling me you're gonna give me $15 million, of course I'm going to kill myself to make that weight. Killing yourself making that weight is not that you're making weight. You're killing yourself.
So basically,
we can't fault these fighters for chasing like the biggest bags.
No,
like that's
you
pretty
can't.
much what
You
they're
can't.
doing right now. How many fighters move up just because they're chasing the biggest opponents in the next weight class? That's literally
We
what's
just telling
happening
you
with 135 and 140.
disadvantage. We just showing you the disadvantage. If he do come down to 168, I think it's 65% chance Canelo win the fight, because he's fighting at a weight he's never fought at, and he's gonna look sloppy out there. You're gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Canelo beats Bivol at 168.
That's asking Josh Taylor to go to 130 pounds. Come on, man.
No, because Josh Taylor already said he's probably for the move up.
10 pounds on the lower weights are not the same as 10 pounds in the higher weights.
No, but remember, we looking at Devin Haney. We worried about Devin Haney about to lose because we know he barely can make 135. So if we know,
him like he finna lose.
No, I'm talking about the Lomachenko. No, I'm saying me.
Exactly.
I'm looking at
Who are these
no.
people
Listen,
you talking about?
let me explain. If he loses to Lomachenko, if he already having trouble to make weight, I'm gonna look at it like, see, he was struggling to make the 135 division, and he got tired. He couldn't last against Loma.
See, I'm not the one to hand out excuses. I'm not gonna do
No,
that.
I'm not.
No. Listen,
so what I said. No,
it is.
That's his division. I'm saying that's his division right now, 135. So
can we simplify this on people making excuses for Canelo going up to 175? Right? I'm sure going into that negotiation, he was the A side. So if he wanted Bivol to fight at 168 in the first place, I'm sure they could have made that happen. But no, he decided, I want to move up to, or 167, sorry. I want to move up to 175, and I'm going to fight Bivol. If Canelo didn't want to do it, that wouldn't have happened.
And you can't pay champions. Champions don't become champions and drop down and do another weight division. It don't happen.
When you've been in that weight, you're educated in dropping back down to that weight. You're asking Bivol to go to a weight that he never been in.
Yep,
I
He
that's the
said
main
he would do
advantage.
it
Main
himself. We're
disadvantage.
not
know that.
asking
Yeah,
for him to do it
No,
though.
I'm not saying. I'm just speaking in
yeah.
general.
I remember
I'm
when he
speaking
said
in
that. You telling
general.
the truth. He did say it himself. So yeah, you got to
And
fault him
he's
for
Yeah,
been
that.
saying it
but
for
but
since the
but
fight
at the
happened. He
same
said, "I'll
time,
go
he was
down
like
and fight his
everybody else.
ass."
At the
Yeah,
same
he'll
time,
go
he's like
down
the
because
Lucas
I'm
Andre
talking.
and all
That's the
these
money
guys.
talk. You telling me?
You
You
don't know
telling me?
why. You don't. Hold on. No
You
one
tell.
knows why he's only fought at 175. He could
But
possibly make 168.
oh
At
yeah,
this
but
stage of
yeah,
his career, never in his
you
And
call his
remember,
career.
bluff.
168 been shit. It's been trash until Canelo came and put a light on it.
My brother, that has
168 was
nothing to
fucking
do. That
shitty.
has nothing to
But
do with
remember,
dropping down to 168. It
remember.
has nothing
Hold
to
on.
do.
Remember,
What
Canelo
it
told.
has to do with was why he chose to fight at 175. If that's the case. Because if you
But
keep
remember,
saying, I can go down and make the weight, I can go down and make the weight, you can probably do it. Josh Taylor never came out his mouth talking about I can go to 135. Devin Haney never came out his mouth talking about I can go down to 130.
Hold
If
on.
Ain't no
motherfuckers say
Canelo
he can
there.
make the weight, let him
Hold
do
on. Hold
it.
on.
It's the
Let him
money.
fight. It
What
sounds like
I'm
niggas are
saying is
scared
the
of letting this man
money.
It's
fight
gonna
him.
be
Like, oh,
very
no, he can lose
let's just keep it
everything.
It's the
real. Let's keep it
money.
real.
Hold
It's
on.
maybe
money.
it is maybe pretty detrimental and dangerous at a man's career at right now when he's been really stable at that weight and he really cuts to that weight. If he starts to do what it takes to get to that weight, that is a bit detrimental because he never
Yeah,
fought at that weight.
Bro,
Yeah, you
I'm
call his bluff,
keeping it
rap.
real. I
Call
been
his
You in
bluff.
saying he
the
was
Make
going
him
at a
UK?
fight.
disadvantage.
Hey,
Right?
Rapstar,
but
you in
he
the
was like,
still
UK?
wins.
Why did Chris Eubanks Sr. was scared for his son?
Because of the weight.
Aye, let's act like we don't know
And the
boxing.
drugs niggas was taking.
But
Let's
we
not
Hold
even
on.
also
forget
got
the
But
to
remember,
remember,
context.
Canelo said he'll fight
God, you
Floyd at
talking about
140
this
at
motherfucking
150.
transformer. He be
yeah, but you
he
got to
Remember
built like
remember,
Canelo?
goddamn
Yeah.
Buzz
yeah, but you
Lightyear
got to
all of a
remember
sudden.
this.
I'll be scared
There
for
are
my son
not
too.
many fighters in the world willing to go at weight classes where they don't even really belong. There are
Yep.
not many fighters like Lomachenko can even probably make 130. Nonito Donaire went back down,
He
but
can't. He said it himself. He can't make 130.
Nonito Donaire, Rachel, if I'm not mistaken, he won the championship at 122, right?
122 and 26.
And
yeah,
126. Imagine this. If Nonito Donaire became a champion at 126, which is Gary Russell's weight, and then he was back down 2 weight classes to be a champion there, some people will say that's a weight bully, right? Some people would say that because they do the same thing to Devin Haney. They do the same thing to fighters who don't want to move up weight with boots and it's. They do the same thing. But if you're a special fighter and you can go up and down, isn't that Nonito Donaire's body that he can do it?
Which Nonito
Right.
You got to respect. You got to respect the fighter that he can stay at that weight. Can't you
You can't
respect
one minute
Boots
say
Ennis?
it's a draining your weight, next minute be like, oh, he's a weight bully. Is he drained or is it a weight? But what the fuck you got going on?
no.
But Nonito
Is it
Donaire
a
proved.
disadvantage or an advantage
Yeah,
or
a
like
lot
what
has
the
to do
fuck?
with
Yeah, but he
narrative,
proved
right?
it.
himself, man.
Yeah, but
It's
he
all about who
proved.
motherfuckers like and who they
I mean,
don't want
and
somebody to fight.
Nonito
Sound like
Yeah,
people
but
don't want
depends on your
Bill to fight
narrative.
Canelo
in the
because
past
it's
with
just gonna
advantage,
destroy
but
Canelo.
No, I think. Hey, if he could do it, he a bad motherfucker. If he's saying he can do it, if he
Right.
really can pull that off, he bad. He
But
talking
just
shit.
like Rachel
do it.
said,
But he
people said,
talking
I
shit.
remember her telling
Canelo.
a story of them signing that contract and they like, well, can he come down to that way? So it's like, I'll do everything I can to get him down there. And he got down there and was whooping ass. So
Who was
let
this?
them just decide their own fate. God damn.
Who? But remember, Canelo told everybody I'll fight Floyd at 150, but he was selling whoop tickets. He fought him at
But
152. He wouldn't do it
he
at
also
150.
got his ass whooped when he did fight Floyd, and it wasn't because of no
No,
drain
but
weight.
remember what he's saying. Just like what Bill was saying, undefeated fighter talking shit that he don't know. Canelo thought the same
But
thing.
the
Nigga, I'll come
difference
down
is
and beat
he's
your ass.
already beat his
Bimbo
ass.
get his ass whooped just
Canelo
like
didn't
that.
even smell nowhere close to Mayweather. He didn't
They
smell
looked
close
at
to him.
they looked at Bivol. They
He
looked at Bivol.
already
They
whooped
looked at
his
previous fights
ass.
and they go.
So this ain't no wolf tickets. It's like, okay, he thinking in his head, this is a professional boxer. He thinking in his head, okay, can I still take these shots if I go down to 168?
My
Man, you're
question
gonna
is
be a
this though. I
skeleton.
want to ask the fighter themselves now. I want to ask the fighter themselves if Nonito's here or I know Rachel's here. Is the fighter, Rachel, when he's at 126, you saw the body, you saw his transformation. When he's at 118, do you see a lot of difference in your husband?
Well, 126, he was sitting down a lot on his shots because the guys that are at 126 was actually hitting a lot harder. And they came into the ring at 150. Nonito walks at 135, 132.
So he
The
don't really
Frampton fight.
belong at 126 though.
No,
As
he
a
did not
guy,
belong. No.
he went at a weight class where he don't really belong.
Correct.
Yeah, so there's not many fighters willing to do that anyway.
No, but like most of the divisions, the 122, there was no one there to fight, and then 126 had everyone, right? So it was following where was the best competition. That's the thing with Nonito, is whether it's a great decision or not, he's trying to fight the best guys that are available to fight, and sometimes there's divisions that it's stagnant, right? You take a look at
You mean
the
the
one.
money wasn't there for Nonito at 122? The money wasn't there.
That's not my phone, right? Is that my phone?
I don't know, but can you hear me?
Yeah, it might be.
I
It
can
might
hear
be
you.
yours.
Okay, let me come back in, Rob. Sorry.
I don't know if it's yours or mine. Is
Is
it
it?
mine?
No,
No,
doesn't
it's not.
sound.
No, yours
Okay, now.
isn't doing it no
It was
more.
somebody
Okay, it's
else.
not mine.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
with the
No,
question.
I'm talking about like the level of competition. So let's look at the level of let's move Inoue out into 122 where Fulton is, right? Now look at what's left in the 118s. Then you'll have Nonito, Jason Maloney, Emmanuel Rodriguez, who just had a great win.
I like
And then who else the hell do you have? Astrolabio, freaking Lee Woods, I think, is in there. Charlie Edwards.
There really ain't nobody at them lower weight classes.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
Like, you fight any one of these guys, like, is it really like worth 12 weeks of a camp to fight somebody that nobody knows or that they're not really hyped for you to fight? And they're like, you're fighting a tomato can. Nonito's always fought either undefeated fighters or champions, one after the other, and because of that, he had to move up when these guys were moving up. And they, like we were supposed to face Mars at 22. He moved up to 26. So we were trying to like chase these guys down because, the Santa Cruz fight and the Mars fight were the two ones that evaded him for the entire career.
Yeah, he wanted the Santa Cruz fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the biggest fight that I think Nonito and Santa Cruz lost out on each other.
I agree. You don't think the Mars one would have been good? I think that
That's
would have been
big,
good too.
but I think Santa Cruz, he beat Mares, didn't he?
Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
I would like
twice.
to see him fight Mares too.
He
Yeah.
beat.
Hey, I was joking
Yeah,
with Mars
absolutely.
at ringside the last fight with Prograis and Cepeda. I saw Mars and they were talking to him about his next fight. I'm like, why don't you fight Nonito, that fight that never got made? He kind of ignored my question.
He got
Yeah,
knocked
he
out
fight
by
at
Gonzalez. That's what happened.
135.
I didn't know he's fighting at 135. That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, Leo.
I think Mares.
he would have trouble with that
the
left hook
name.
from Nonito Donaire.
Mares was the big
Jack
name
Redner he had.
until Gonzalez came and he was the underdog.
Starched him.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, but when we were there, that wasn't the case, right? Because at 122, that's where those rumors went that we were ducking him and that Golden Boy sent a $3 million contract. I'm like, no, they didn't. I would have seen it. And, and so we ended up trying to chase him and nothing ever came of it,
So my question to you, Rachel, is we know that you wanted the smoke with Estrada. We know that you want the smoke with Maloney. We know that you want the biggest fights, what's available to you. Have you ever thought about Fulton?
Fulton at 22?
Nope. Yeah.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
You've never even given that a chance because.
No, we actually thought. Oh, okay, hold on, sorry.
Hey guys, no, actually, when the negotiation with Inoue for the second one was happening, we were also negotiating with Fulton, but Fulton had a mandatory at that time. So, and then the fight with Inoue came about. But we were just kind of, you know me, man. I'll fight anybody. Really.
Yeah, because champ.
So that Abner Morris, that's
I
a
didn't
good
know
one.
that.
Hey, look. Let me just speak to my brother Nonito. He's packing. Where you going anyway?
I'm going to Philly. I'm just helping some up and comers. With training and all of that stuff. Just for this week, and then meet up some of the guys from Philly, man. So I'm very
some gyms.
Yeah, visit some gyms and just.
You're gonna be training, yeah. You're gonna be training.
You're gonna go see Boots.
Yeah, we're gonna see Boots. We're gonna see everybody. So
you're gonna be training, yeah.
I'm still gonna be training when I'm out there, but
Okay.
mainly just helping the guys out.
Well, you're gonna go and see your friend Boots, right? We know you're gonna go see your friend Boots. Now,
Yeah.
I want to say this about Boots. He's catching a bit of slack because he wasn't able to cut off the ring, okay? And in today's business and today's boxing, yeah, everybody wants to see the Filipino flash, left hook, and all that now. You know, we're so in this boxing climax that we want to see these fighters fighting these C- fighters. We want to see knockouts because these guys are wanting to be the next elites. So with Boots not able to cut the ring off, and a bit of frustration, this guy was able to land on him. He wasn't a puncher. Is there anything, because you know how the boxing fans are today, Nonito, they want to see exciting fights and they want to see these guys close out the show. How did you see the fight, and what did you think of it?
I mean, I think that he came out there, not really using what he's capable of, not setting up, not utilizing the jab, not utilizing
Yeah.
his speed, not utilizing his reflex. He was just out there to try to prove a point of knocking the guy out. And so all of his game plan was thrown out the window. Now, I'm pretty sure when he fights somebody who has a big name, he's gonna bring his A game in there and not just be all, not just go out there and try to tear somebody's head out.
So do you
He even
agree
say he
then?
got bored in the ring.
Yeah,
Does
but do you
anybody,
also
does
agree
anybody
then
else see that he
that
was
there's a
also
point
flat-footed?
I want the champ to see this point. Do you agree that when fighters don't come out of fight, they survive? It's difficult for fighters to look good, even if they've got the power. It's not all the time they're gonna knock out the guy who's trying to survive it,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's the most difficult thing for a fighter is when somebody's out there got their turtle shell up, or somebody who's running around a lot. I fought the Argentinian guy, what's his name, Narvaez, and all he kept doing was kept his hands up. He didn't want to punch at all after I rocked him in the second round. And I didn't look good in that fight at all. And none of my power was showcased or anything like that. So yeah, it's very difficult when somebody's not willing to engage. I mean, I know that the guy was kind of countering Boots here and there, but it wasn't a something that was to be fearful of. I know that Boots was just going out there to just, because they made a bet that he's who will get the best knockout or the fastest knockout between him and Tank. So he went out there just for that particular moment of one thing, which is to knock his opponent as early as he can, and he started getting frustrated because he couldn't do it. And it's very difficult when somebody's moving around left and right.
And I think like the thing is like I think this was good for him. Like I think people, first of all, boxing fans are thirsty as hell. Okay, if they don't get a knockout in the first 4 rounds, they'll give you till 6, and then they'll start getting really upset with you. Okay, so that's why.
Would you agree then, Rachel and Nonito, that the criticism that Teofimo gets because the other fighter, Sandor Martin, was more of a survivor fighter, that he could learn from that, and he can also come back with a different style?
I wouldn't put him in the same
No, but let me
category.
just get it off, bro, because I know that you want to speak. Let me get this off. Is Teofimo Lopez in the same boat that he can learn from that? Like you said, Boots can learn from that because styles make fights. Do you think Teo can also learn that a fighter came to survive a bit? No?
Well, that is one thing, but I think the mentality of Tio and Boots is different. Boots came out there making this bet and just, underestimating the guy, and Tio came in there, look underestimating the guy, but looking at and again, this is just from what he would speak upon or what he would say in his quotes. I ain't got nothing else to improve. I'm at my top, or something. He said something about along that line that and you cannot learn when you have that mentality. And this is what happens is he just did the same thing over and over and over and over because he felt that he hit his plateau. And when you hit your plateau, that's as far as you're going to be. But if you're constantly learning to grow, I'm like, you know what, I learned from that. I'm gonna figure out a way to beat somebody who is very defensive or who is running around a lot, and you got to figure all of that out. But if you're already telling yourself that you're at the top, you're not going to learn, and that's the difference. Boots is still learning. Boots, he made that mistake or he made the choice, because I thought it was good for him to go up there in the first place to 12 rounds, but he made the choice to fight and to knock somebody out without using his skills, and he knows that won't work if he start using his skill, using his feint, using a different type of technique and setting it all up. It's going to be a different story. But I mean, again, like you said, it's very difficult to beat somebody or to knock somebody out when they are on
In
their
survival mode,
bike
yeah.
pedals and turtle shells.
And like I was saying,
So
Rap, like I think it was good that he finally got a 12 round underneath his belt. I
yeah,
know it's not what we wanted to see, but it was something that was going on around a lot of people's minds. Like, dude, he's never even gone to championship rounds. You know, at
so
least he
what?
got
He's
that out
not
of his system.
comfortable.
He knows how
Yeah.
it feels like,
Yeah, I
right?
want everybody to have one question with you, the champ. Is that good? Yeah, because there's everybody wanting to speak. So is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say this though, champ, before we let the people in. You think it's the mindset of the fighter, even if they win and they get frustrated, is how they approach and how they understand. You think Teofimo Lopez's mindset, his ego, is his own worst enemy is himself. A little bit.
100%. 100%. Not even a little bit.
So
You know,
Teofimo's own worst enemy is
it's
himself.
Teofimo.
It's
Yep.
Teofimo.
It's
Okay.
Teofimo. You
Okay,
know, and the thing
I'm
about
gonna
that,
let everybody
the
have a
thing
go.
like I always speak upon is you are only as good as your mind can be. If your mind is strong
So
and
you
you're
think
willing to
Teo's
learn,
mind is
you're
a
always
bit
gonna grow. Huh?
Teo's mind is still not developed to the point where he needs to be that guy to understand that he's got some
Because Teo is living in the past. You know, from what I see.
Yeah, he has the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that big one against Loma.
Teofimo Lopez is too emotional. Too emotional as well.
Yeah.
Teo's too emotional.
You know, and he's living in the past, and what happens is you can't move on in growing when you are in the past. I mean, it already happened. If you're willing to move on, then you move on. You don't even mention that.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
my question for that Rap was what was the first thing that came out of his mouth after the win? Wasn't it like, did I do good or did I look good
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Do I still got it?
Do I
Do
still
I
got
still
it?
got it?
So
Yeah.
again, that's external validation. Do you know if you still got it? Why are you asking other people? You should be asking yourself that. Look at the fight and tell us if you believe you still got it, and if you still got it, and if you still need to make improvement. Like it's this constant thing of that I keep seeing in a lot of today's boxers where they're so built on external validation that when they look into it, they can't answer the question for themselves. They have to ask you.
Yeah, but fighters are more emotional today. Even if you remember, Devin Haney never got put on the pound for pound. And the first thing he says is, I'm not happy with them not doing that for me. And, I mean, who do they, I should be in the pound for pound. Why is he so concerned about another platform putting him on a pound for pound? Sometimes
I don't think
fighters
that's the
also
same.
do take these things personal, Rachel.
I know, which I think is silly. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's silly. First of all,
It's
pound for
only right.
pound is a bunch of opinions, and rarely do they ever agree 100% on who's supposed to be in the top 5. Rarely. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go on.
They got Nonito number 2
Question
on
for
there.
the champ and the most beautiful manager, Rachel Donaire. Question for them. Go on,
Well,
Brian.
it's not a question. It's just something I wanted to point out also about Dennis Boots' fight the weekend. I thought he looked flat-footed. He was trying to put power behind every single shot.
What are we talking about?
Boots
Boots
was walking. Boots, after the 6 rounds, Boots were made for walking. And that's what he did. He went and just kept walking. And then what happens is he was just trying to aim for something again without setting up his
jab. There was no jab.
punches.
There was no setup.
There was no jab. There was no
body
up and down. He wasn't feinting. He wasn't setting up anything.
Yeah.
And what happens is he was just trying to tee off. And I think going into this fight, he had one thing in mind, which is to knock this guy out. And that's why he said he had studied Tyson's fight throughout the camp and all of this and all of that. And granted that if it doesn't work, you should always change your style or your game plan.
Yeah.
And that's something that he learned from this fight. And I'll talk to him and tell him, you know what, he's a terrific fighter, but you got to learn to adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think his feet were slow because he was trying to tee off. Like
He was
you can't.
yeah.
You can't be light footed and
Powerful.
and up without and then try to land a powerful shot. You're gonna hit, you're gonna touch, but to land that powerful shot, you need to be grounded to hit those shots.
Is it true, right?
And we've seen him be made faster on his feet and use the jab and all that shit in the other fights, so we know it's just not him. Like, that's not him. It's not what he did.
No, I seen him do that. I was watching it, right, and I was looking back at his previous fights, and I'm like, he just looks slow. He looks, even though he's in there with tricky guy. I thought the Ukrainian Karen, he had decent footwork for what it was. Good on the
Yeah,
night
he
movement,
does.
hard to time, right? I thought he set no traps for him. I thought, and also when he got cornered, sometimes right when he was throwing a 1-2, Karen was quicker to throw the backhand than Butch was. Just pure speed, right? Karen got a few shots in. It was just a few things I looked at, and he didn't get his head off center line, which I was also concerned from a technical point. And it's just wee things like that, just that he can improve on. And maybe he's not used to being defensive because he's been so dominant. So if you could mention those couple of things to him, because he's actually a fighter I want to see do well in the sport.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
no.
that, and I think we were going to also ask him about like the orthodox versus southpaw. Because we did see a lot of
I'm a
flaws
southpaw.
in the southpaw position where we felt like he was better in the orthodox position. What was the reasoning behind that? Of course, these are the questions we want to ask him because we weren't in camp with him. We didn't have a conversation before the fight. This is probably the first time we're actually going to sit down when and this is the best situation because he's not in camp. So he's not going to be like cutting weight or angry and tired and hungry. Like we can just have an honest conversation and let it flow, so.
Well, Rachel, I don't think
Now,
no
I got
one
a
better
question.
to ask the champ this question, yeah? Punch Drunk Boxing was with Boots the other day. Hey, Punch, are you there, Punch?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Punch, what would you ask the champ if he's going to Philly to see Boots and all the other people? What would you like to see from Boots different, and what would you like the champ to tell him if champ was, say if Nonito was part of that and he went to see him, what would you like to say to Nonito, tell him this, what you would want to see in
Hold
improvement?
on.
What improvement would you want to see? All right, we got to move it on.
All right, hey Rachel and Nonito, I want to ask you a quick question. Do you think Sandor Martin, why T.O. had a hard problem with him, was because he just did not come to fight, or do you believe it was his boxing skills and T.O. not being able to cut off the ring was why he had a hard problem?
It made it hard is because Tio wasn't setting up his punches, and Tio did the same thing over and over. That Martin knew exactly what Tio was gonna do, and so he already knew and expected what Tio was gonna do, and so he was out of it. I mean, there's times that he'd land something, but Tio would hop instead of throwing a jab to set up. Instead of throwing that left hook, he should have just thrown that jab to set up with the straight or the overhand or whatever it is, right? But he would hop, and then the guy would make a miss, and he would be out in the corner. How many times Tio? I mean, although he did follow him around without cutting him off, but there was times that he got him in the corner and stuff like that. That could have been anything, but he was just trying to throw a big punch that he was seeing a mile away.
No, he didn't frame him behind a jab first to make sure that he was going to be framed there for his big shot.
Because it wasn't like Sandor Martin was just running around. He was trying to punch something, and you can in all the offense, there's always a place where you can place those punch to hit somebody because they open up. In all offenses, there's always that spot. But you gotta be aware of those, and you gotta set those up, or like for me in the past, I would put my face in front of them to make them see that I'm vulnerable, and they would try to throw a jab, and I would counter them, or they would throw straight, and I would hit them to the body or to the left hook, like I did with Montiel. I would put my face in there too, because some guys, they would just run, or they would just it's very, very difficult for other people if they're not willing to fight.
Well,
but I think Martin came in there to try to outpoint him, because it was a different story if he was just running. It would have been they would not be contesting the decision.
Well, and I think Bebo did that great too. Like, with his false sense of range, when he was fighting Zertel, he had a really wide stance, made Zertel think that he was there, and as soon as Zertel started trying to throw his straight, he would pull back in counter and get out. So.
Got y'all. Anybody? Hey, listen. Anybody who hasn't had a question that wants to have a question?
Nonito, yeah, let me ask you, man. Hey, number 2, pound for pound, right? Ring Magazine. That's where they got you at, right?
Yes, sir.
Nonito, thank you. Now, the guy that got a little bit of your imitation, you can tell he watch film. I see a little bit of him, a little bit of you and him. Ryan Garcia can become the number 2 with the big left hook with a spectacular knockout of the great Tank Davis. See how it just, he has to get that victory, and you see he has the left hook to do it. He got one of them left hooks like you had, put your lights out, early or late. See what I mean? That puts you in position to. It ain't easy. You got to earn your way to there. Remember how you got to that number 2 spot? Them
I
big
fought
left hooks.
everybody. I fought everybody.
Come on now.
So I
That's
mean that's
he got to win
the
it.
big that's the big name right there, and he has to win that fight.
Yeah.
That's the biggest name out there. And that'll bring him up. I mean, again, pound for pound is I've never really kind of dwelled on it because of the fact that I just didn't really care too much about it. I've always just been like, I'm gonna keep fighting everybody and bring it on. But nowadays everybody wants to be part of that. And it's something to be proud of, but
yeah, number 2 in the world. That mean they saying you the second best fighter on the planet. So I'm like, that's where you at. And we see what got to win. If he comes through, then he could get to that level. But you got to crack it.
The
A lot of people can't get there.
The beauty about these guys' weight is they have every fighter with a big name, in there to get them to the number 1 spot. You got Tank, you got Haney, you got Lomachenko, you got you got what's his name, the guy from the UK, Josh Taylor. You got all these guys. You got Regis Prograis. Regis is number 1 in my book in this division 140. So you have all the names to be in the top pound for pound.
Yep.
So get to fighting.
What about an Inoue versus Stephen Fulton?
I think that's a good fight. I think that's a good fight. I think Inoue is gonna be his powers is gonna show whether he can carry it, and I truly believe that he can. Fulton's gotta learn how to box more, be more mobile, and lateral movements and all that stuff. And I think it's a great fight. I think it's a good test for the monster and for both guys.
50-50.
Well, and I think that we got to see what's going on, honestly. Like, there's, I know that Inoue got moved up to super champion to be able to face Fulton, but Fulton was was awarded the interim fight with Figueroa. But then we heard that Figueroa is going to fight that Fulton stepped out of the fight to fight Inoue, and Figueroa is actually not fighting him. And Magsayo is going to step in, but then we heard that Magsayo is supposed to fight Isaac Dogbo. So this whole 22 and 26 division with Ray Vargas fighting at 130 and with Fulton deciding on 22 or 26 kind of leaves like a weird uneasy feeling in the air, because you're like, okay, well, who the hell is fighting who? And let's not forget, Inoue is with Top Rank and Fulton's with PBC. Like, how easy is it going to be to make this fight happen?
History
You got to
tells
be
you
mandated. I think they said the somebody's mandated.
Who's
I
mandated?
do have a question for Nonito, man. About
I think they said they're gonna mandate it, right?
Filipino boxers that we should be
Who has
looking
a
out
question for the Filipino Flash? Who's saying that?
Yes, any future up and coming Filipino fighters that we should be looking out for the future, man. Because actually, my wife's a P9, and I'm gonna be heading back to the Philippines for my 3rd time, man. I love the country, the people are great, and I like to visit all the boxing gyms out there, man. So anything you got for me, man? I appreciate it. Salamat, man.
Man, it's a different time for now because it wasn't like when I came in and when Pacquiao came in, I came in and all of that stuff. There was just so many people rising up. Right now it's been quiet. I mean, they had this kid from the lower division, Jerusalem, and he won the title. Last week. So congratulations to him. I think he's the only world champion right now from the Philippines. Um, but in terms of other people, I mean, they just kind
Okay.
of showed up, but they're not like, oh man, you got to watch this kid. Oh, I do know this other kid. What's his name? Jap, Jap, Jap.
Oh, Geppetto.
Yeah. I can't say his name, but Jap
Jap.
he is a tremendous fighter. You got to watch out for him. He's
From LA.
Yeah, he's from
What,
LA.
He's
what weight is he at?
irritating.
He's at 120, 130, 126 and 130. But that kid is gonna come up, man. I think he's starting to find his power, but he is mobile as hell, and he's a tremendous fighter in terms of, you know, he's just a difficult fighter
Well, who
to,
do you
to fight.
compare him to?
I mean, he has a little bit of Nasim in it, a little bit here and there, just very flexible.
Oh
He just
wow.
doesn't have that power yet. You know, but he's very awkward in some ways, but he is a very difficult to fight. Yeah, you gotta watch out
What
for
weight
him.
he fight at?
126 or 130.
Okay, I'll keep an
Okay,
eye
he might
on
get
him.
the
Yeah.
power
I
soon.
appreciate it, man.
Move up.
Yeah, he's from LA. Geppetto Yamato, I think. His manager is actually from the UK. We talk a lot. He came over out here for sparring one time, and we all did like he did a round robin with a bunch of the other boxers in the gym, and everyone was having issues with him. So that one's going to be really interesting to watch.
So,
Nice.
Nonito,
I'm about to
since
check
you've
him
been
out. Absolutely.
in the boxing world and since you've seen, how much has Philippines grown? And is the structure and the foundation of boxing in Philippines now growing? It's still it's a third world country, right?
Yeah.
So
It's still very
what's the
difficult.
boxing foundation now to what it was?
It's still very difficult because you get clowns going in there and taking advantage of Filipino fighters, because they don't know how to speak English, and they don't have the education to understand, contracts, or to understand just the business and what's going on. They don't even, a lot of them don't even see their contracts. A lot of them just kind of, just nod and are happy with the opportunity, even though they're getting robbed more than half, or whatever it may be.
And in addition, Gab's doing a whole internal investigation because I believe last year when the turn of the presidency went over, so that they're establishing new people to come into the roles and things like that. They were, I guess, when they did inventory, is what they called it. Like they noticed that a lot of our Filipino fighters were getting sent to Japan as pretty much a slaughterhouse, right? Like they're
Oh
looking into
wow.
the investigation on who were the matchmakers and that allowed such their new fighters that haven't ever been out of the country and don't have that experience level to be slaughtered over in Japan. So I like the fact that they're looking into things like that and trying to protect their fighters, making sure they grow in the proper ways and be challenged when they are ready and not when they're not. But it's still a very long process to get the foundation over there really ready for to be comparable to the United States.
Have you guys ever thought, or has
Well,
Nonito
maybe
himself
that.
ever thought, has the government ever approached you guys, or has Nonito ever been approached by anyone to say, can you guys help the boxing in Philippines, or nothing like that ever?
It's very difficult because everyone has their own promotions and stuff like that, and
They could have
management.
used you as an ambassador to, like they're using
Yeah,
Amir
but
Khan. They're
it's
using
such an
Amir Khan
individual
for the
sports. It's such an
Pakistan.
individual sports that even if they use me as an ambassador, they still wouldn't really listen to me. They'll listen to the money if the money is given to them. They'll listen to the money if the opportunity is given to them. So and I understand, because sometimes Philippines can be a very difficult place if you don't have it. So they're gonna try to just go and make a deal with the devil. And it's unfortunate, but things happen that way, and the trust in somebody is just very, very hard to come by, because for them it's all about the money. It's all about feeding their family, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that they'll jump ship at any moment, given that somebody else. I mean, how many times did we hear the thing in the past? Pacquiao signed with Golden Boy, and then the next couple of days he signed with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are like that going on, that it's unfortunate. Because they don't see that the
They've
contract.
been taken advantage of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to remember, we just got, I said that we just got a new president last year, so they're changing out everyone, which hopefully will change a new leaf and start all clean and fresh. We'll see
Yes.
where that leads. And we're always here to, provide guidance and insight of how things should be ran, because of, we've been doing it here in the US, and the checks and balances, I think, is a huge thing. And the just transparency in who's managing who's fighting where, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I mean, we could only hope for the best, and I know we're moving in the right direction. It's probably slower than we would want, for sure, but at least we're moving.
I'm thinking, why is Manny Pacquiao not such a
Well, maybe
powerful
that.
force helping that direction?
Well, I'm gonna
Wasn't he
probably be a
supposed to be the
controversial.
president?
Oh God.
He's saying, "Oh God," right now, because I'm like,
Don't
look,
set him up.
listen,
Don't
man,
set him up,
I'm
man.
trying. I got the biggest respect for Pacquiao as a fighter, but he ain't doing shit for the fighter in the Philippines. I mean, he's getting this guy fucking Sean Gibbons walking around representing his name and all this stuff, and doing all this shit when he's not even assigned as a president. There's no, what I'm saying? Like, I'm just upset when it comes down to it, because if you want to make a change, especially you have the biggest name, you have the biggest influence to change the whole fucking country, and yet you ain't doing shit, and you letting these other people run and take advantage of our fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just, that's all I'm saying, is from what I've experienced in dealing with John Real Casimiro, that at times he doesn't even see the contract. He's never signed some contracts, and stuff like that. So for me, as a person, like it's, as you can see, I'm very passionate about it, because I respect the guy so much. I look up to him so much, and I idolize him growing up, and he's giving me so much opportunity, that I'm so grateful for him opening up the Filipino fighting,
And you got to
boxing.
remember this, Nonito. I've been watching you for over years. And when you were first coming up and you were coming against Darchinian, and then you did, and then Fight Hype started getting hold of you and all these channels, you were giving Manny Pacquiao a lot of credit. But
And
then
I still
eventually,
do.
yeah, and I
And I
know
still do when
you
it
do,
comes
but
down to
eventually,
boxing.
we never heard you speak about Pacquiao in the last 7 years anymore.
I mean, what can I say? For me and my wife, we tried to help the Philippines, Filipinos to be put in the right place, and to even help them with contracts. If not, she what?
Oh, well, I think the thing is okay. So let's look at the Bud situation. Let's look at the Spence situation. You have a lot of people that are like, okay, we're just blind to, he's a world champion, and know what he does. He can never do any wrong. He can never sin. He can never, do anything. And being that Pacquiao is a political figure, or was a political figure, it was very difficult to answer any questions about Pacquiao just as a boxer. People always go, "Oh, so what do you think about him as a senator? What do you think about him going in Congress? What do you think about him running for presidency?" It's like, it doesn't. Are we talking about, like, you say fight hype? Are we talking about the fight? Or are we talking about his political ambitions? Because I don't. That's a totally different person to me. Like, why can't we separate it and say, okay, yes, Pacquiao in the ring, legendary, has done amazing things. Well, Hall of Famer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Pacquiao, the politician, not so high on that. Not even 50% high on that person. Pacquiao as a humanitarian, totally different person, right? I don't even want to talk about his political career, but we've been shying away from answering a lot of questions about Pacquiao, because it always got intertwined with who he was as a politician.
Is it the similar thing that Mayweather is? Mayweather, great boxer, but when it comes to business and promoting, really horrible person sometimes. Horrible ways of doing it.
I mean, when you're a promoter and stuff like that, I mean, I've never dealt with them to say, but there's rumors and there's stuff going about, and you know, and yeah, there's a lot of things going on back and forth and all of that stuff. But I mean, like again, for me, I've never dealt with them to say anything coming from me because I've never really experienced that, but for me with Pacquiao and all these people and the people that he entrusts his name to, I don't get it.
I mean, this is the problem, though. What it is, the people representing Pacquiao, like Sean Gibbons, he was in Tokyo the other day when Pacquiao was talking about his comeback. And he seems to be Pacquiao's right-hand man in the boxing and the people like he's employing. Don't forget, they just got Isaac Cruz as well, didn't they? And Pacquiao's now got Isaac Cruz. He's left the business to Sean Gibbons.
Yeah.
Now, I did speak to a guy who has a gym. Now, I don't know where exactly the gym was, but he told me, and he's actually coming on the channel soon, but he's somebody who, which I'm going to get all his details properly, but he's somebody who he said that does business with Sean Gibbons. Now, I think there's going to be smoke with Rachel, where she's already smoked Rick Glazier. It is what it is. But I think there's going to be smoke part 2. Rachel, if Sean Gibbons is going to come on Rapstar for an interview and says something out of hand, you might need to be ready to press the
Stop instigating.
Man, we've gone up to him. He's surrounded himself with bodyguards because little old me's gonna, I don't know, scratch him apparently. And in addition, I've called him on live when he was talking mess about me. I've literally showed people I'm dialing his phone number and it kept going to voicemail. So I don't. I mean, the things that I said on Social Media Wars Part 1 that had a recorded statement from his guy, and that said that he was going to fund the alleged victim, and it was coming from MP Promotions, and Sean Gibbons himself was funding it. Like, the receipts I have against this fool is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's
but I mean, I think this guy's trying to get him on the channel over here because he's saying that Sean Gibbons does a lot of good for boxing. And
he does good for his pocket.
He does good for his clients or his boxing, and he's got Isaac Cruz. Apparently, he's put a hand in a boxing gym, what this guy runs. And he was just saying that we want to get Sean to come in and, just tell you what he does do in boxing. I don't know when it's happening, but I forgot. I mean, I'm sure I got to chase it up, that's all. But if Sean Gibbons, I don't know what else he does in boxing. I'm just sure that he's more... Right now, I know more about him because he's around Manny Pacquiao. But he used to do business with Top Rank, and apparently he lost his role with Top Rank. Is that correct?
Yeah, because of Matchbox, the Project Matchbox. Because the FBI raided Top Rank, then his ass got fired. What does that tell you? He got ran out of was it Oklahoma? He got ran out of Oklahoma for fight fixing and some other stuff.
But how come Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest, right? That's his right-hand man.
Honestly, this isn't the first time Manny's had people questionable around him. The guy who ran his house in LA, he had stolen, like, he had a checkbook from Manny and was writing checks out. Stolen, I thought, close to $200,000. And he said sorry, and he's still running the Manny Pacquiao house in LA. So I mean, he has amazingly crazy, I guess you could say, forgiveness in his heart for people that continuously steal. But it's not new.
I mean, when he signed with the McGregor, the I forget what it's called, but the promotion, the guy that used his name.
Oh, that's a big lawsuit.
Yeah, that he's in a lawsuit because they gave him like $2 million or something, but these guys ran off with it or some shit like that.
And Manny's getting sued for it because McGregor's management people.
Paradigm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Paradigm.
everything. He's kind of a questionable guy when people talk about him moving up from what did he start at? What weight did he start at again? Wasn't it 100?
108?
Yeah, 108, I think.
Yeah,
108.
like that whole thing is questionable in
But
itself.
he was like 14 years old back in the days though when he started the professional in the Philippines. But I
Oh,
you know
shit, he was 14?
I think he, if you look at it, when he was 18, he's probably around 112 or something like that, because he was there, he was there for a very long time. That's where he got his first title.
You weren't
112
even
to
108 when you were 14.
to
Oh, you were like
1
90?
90 pounds.
Nonito was 90 at 14.
Yeah, so my thing is, what happened to Manny Pacquiao running as a president? What happened with all that?
He just went over. He went against a dynasty. He went over against generational wealth. I mean, Bong Bong's father was Ferdinand. His mom, of course, Imelda. They, they always say, some people say that was the golden age of the Philippines. Like everyone, like the country was clean, ran smoothly, et cetera, et cetera. But there was also alleged corruption in there as well. Bong Bong's Ferdinand's son. The one before, well, no, yeah, I think like 2 elections ago, there was another, very wealthy family that tried to run for presidency, and they lost like $30 million off the bat. Like he didn't win. And so there's no way of you're recouping that. He came in, and he was going against an extremely wealthy family and has a track record. They were both in politics. Him and his mom has been in politics for quite some time. And then you had, I forgot the other, was it Lenny? It was a very powerful, well-spoken, educated woman. And then Pacquiao's track record didn't help. He went against Marco's family, and he was comparing Jinky to Imelda and said, well, my wife doesn't wear designer. Which I mean, just look at her IG and tell me if you believe that. But and then what was the other? Oh, and then he said, the people don't forget. He had gone against, the homosexuals, said that they should be put to death. He tried to outlaw condoms. So, things like that. People were like, if you became president, why are you
Manny
laughing?
Pacquiao
I'm
said
being
that. I heard
serious.
that.
This
Manny
dude
Pacquiao
is
said, put these
crazy, bro.
transsexuals and put these fucking gays and all that to death.
He said bad
Kill
all
these motherfuckers. He said that.
Yeah, because he quoted the
It's the
Bible
Bible that
and said that
they
you're
should be hanged.
supposed no, well, yeah, the Bible with the homosexuals and also with the condoms. He said we're
Manny
supposed to go
Pacquiao
forth
next, the next Kim Jong. Yeah, go on.
and multiply. So, I think these things that came to light when he was in politics, like his opponents will bring it up. You know what
And
I
that,
mean? Like it's your track record.
Right, bring it
is
up.
that
Listen,
why,
Don't tweet.
Rachel? Is
man.
that why? Sorry,
Listen,
Manny Pacquiao's come back to boxing.
I have no qualms with him. I wish
Yeah.
him all the best at everything else. But I just wish if I can reach to him it's to guide the fighters, man. You've been blessed with things. Help the fighters to get there. If you don't know, just all I'm saying is for me, you have the biggest name, bigger than my name, bigger than a lot of people's name in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Use that
But
power
his
to
guy is
create.
Sean Gibbons. His guy is Sean Gibbons. And I really want to ask you guys this. If Sean Gibbons comes to the channel, what question would you like me to ask him?
Ask him to show you the security and exchange documents that says that he actually is on the board of directors and is the president of MP Promotions.
So when he says that to me, then I can say, what's the proof of that?
I have it. I could give it to you.
Oh, so the proof is not there, you mean?
I have it. In my inbox.
Well, you better send that to me before
I'll
you come
send it to
down
you.
to the channel.
And then I think the second question is, you've been saying that you want to help John. Well, why is John Real Casimiro still in the conversation when the contract ended last February and you're still going after him? What's the big deal? Like, leave him. Contract's done. go your separate ways. You sound like a horrible ex-girlfriend that's stalking someone.
So because Casemiro doesn't want to be with him no more, he tried to make his life a bit difficult, and Casemiro came in
100%.
and kind of like Casemiro kind of, I'm not saying came out and reach out for help from you, Rachel, but at some point you had to restructure or help him in some way.
Yeah, no, he after he told Nonito that on live that he doesn't see all his contracts, I motioned Nonito to stop. You know, and then shortly after that he emailed us and was asking us, you know, for help, and it's been a long road. But you know, at every turn his goons over in the Philippines continuously try to block him from fighting. They tried to block him from fighting in Korea with Akaho, his last fight. It's just they won't stop. They're like, oh, watch, we're gonna get that fight canceled. They're very blatant and loud, and they're live every single time about what they're gonna do.
Wow. Yeah.
And they said, I think recently, I think 2 weeks ago, the guy sent me something, and they said basically that he said that he has to kiss Sean Gibbons's hand to come back, and he has to leave his brother and his trainer. They won't allow his brother, who is his trainer, and his cutman. He needs to leave them at home. He won't
But let's
allow
keep
John
it
Mill
real
to help
though,
them.
Rachel. We're gonna keep it real. This is the boxing culture, and nobody's stupid here. And I know Nonito's got no beef with Pacquiao. We already know that. But it does seem like the right-hand man of Manny Pacquiao, has got beef with you guys. And he's come out there openly saying that he's got beef with you guys. So Manny Pacquiao being a bigger man, how come he hasn't, and we've also thought of this, how come Manny Pacquiao's never said to Sean Gibbons, just leave it, bro? And, you know, I'll leave Nonito Donaire and his wife and stop. You know, it didn't need to get to that. I'm just thinking Manny Pacquiao never involved himself. He let that situation carry on. I just feel like even though Manny Pacquiao never showed that respect back to Nonito and telling Sean Gibbons just back off.
I don't know.
I think
I've
Sean Gibbons
never
is
had
probably more
that
powerful.
I've never had that conversation with them, but I mean, ours is so minimal. Okay, you're gonna tag me on social media. You're gonna be like Rick Glacier and his best friend. Great, okay. But I mean, if we're gonna go that far, how are you not gonna step in when you're hearing that the victim had recanted her story and blatantly pointed out that she was getting paid by Sean Gibbons? So, I mean, if I'm the owner of MP Promotions and you're driving my name into the dirt, saying that my company is helping you file a fraudulent case, and you're hurting another Filipino, I'd be the number one person to be like, okay, I don't care what it takes for you to get to the Philippines, but you need to be at my house within 48 hours and we need to talk. But you haven't heard that because it hasn't stopped with Casemiro.
Yeah, but why is Manny Pacquiao? I don't understand. Is he should Nonito Donaire has always respected him, even on TV and stuff. How come Manny Pacquiao hasn't given Nonito Donaire is the second best Filipino fighter who's ever lived? How come Manny's never said, yeah, Nonito, he's my guy. Yeah, oh, you know, yeah, he fights. He's a great fighter. I never hear Manny Pacquiao ever praise Nonito. I'm saying, is there beef?
I think it's
Is it because
it's
Nonito's an American Filipino? What
yes.
is it?
That's a huge part. A lot of when you see sometimes when there's Filipinos that are in the Philippines, it's a lot less now, but before it was Nonito's not Filipino. He's Filipino American. And it's almost like they blame him for his dad moving him here at the age of 11 because he was born in the Philippines. And so it's like they separate like, oh, you're so much better because you're in America. Like, we don't associate with you because we don't understand you. Like, not understand as language, but understand as far as lifestyle, as far as the opportunities he was given. A lot of them are displacing their envy of his family being able to move to the US. And so instead of embracing him as a Filipino, they just put him on a different side.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, do you think Pac-Man would have been a good president? Like, would you have voted for him?
No.
I was assuming that, and I'm not even from the Philippines. I was
Yeah,
like,
No, it's fine. I mean, I just, like I said, like, I don't, if track record speaks anything in politics, and I'm only basing it off his track record, like I said, I like to compartmentalize the different avenues of what a person is. As a boxer, completely 100% in his corner.
Yeah.
As a politician, I've seen what he's tried to pass, and I don't agree with it at any point. So if he's going to have more power, I feel like he's going to try to push these other agendas that are aligning with him, and not what I believe is good for the general population. Doesn't matter. Let's just say I believe in, banning condoms. Okay. Let's say I do, but what about the 5, 10, 15% that doesn't believe that? Or what about, people that believe that they should be able to get a divorce, because divorce is not something in the Philippines.
So he did
And
say, right? Did he really say that I want transsexual people dead if I'm in charge?
he didn't
Damn,
say, no, he
transsexual.
did not say that. He said, he quoted,
He quoted the Bible
he,
that, yeah,
yeah, he quoted the Bible that said homosexuality, is likened to like
There's just
animals,
one more. Yeah,
something like
right.
that, and that they should be hanged, something
They
like that
should
he
be hanged,
quoted.
executed, yeah?
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people believed like that in the years ago.
Years ago, but we're
Yeah.
not there
A lot of
anymore.
people agree with Manny Pacquiao that they don't want to see
And
that.
here, well, I get that, but here's also here's the argument with that. I believe they did. I don't remember how. It was a long time. It was probably about 10 years ago. They did a survey, and they said that there had to be a 30% homosexuals in the Philippines. And I believe it, because Jesus, you go to Hollywood. This
The
is like
lady
10 years ago.
boys.
You would go to Hollywood, their Hollywood, and the makeup artists, the actors that are making big money,
So
they're
Manny
gay.
Pacquiao wanted to clean up the streets like the old days, like Saudi Arabia. He don't want to
Raps.
see. He don't want to see
Hey,
no fucking.
hey,
He
hey,
don't want
Rob.
to see no belly man.
Hey,
He don't want to see no she-mouths. He don't want to see that shit. He goes
hey,
execute.
Rob. Hey,
Yo,
Rob.
Fuck it.
I have to go. I had to
he
get ready
said
to go
clean
to
up
work.
the streets.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rob. I had to get ready to go to work. I'd like to thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Always.
Rachel, Nonito Donaire. Nonito, it's a pleasure. Rachel, we talked before.
Bye,
thank you. Have a
Brian.
great one,
Say
buddy.
hi to
Have a good
Carl.
one. Have a good one, guys.
Okay, bye.
Peace.
That's funny as hell, man.
Yeah, Island in the
And all the
building.
people
Yeah,
that
no,
can't
Hey,
even
so
Rachel,
someone
afford
Rachel,
asked if
kids.
Rachel.
Nonito
I
was
gotta be
born in.
honest with you, Rachel. There
Wait,
is a
Rap.
lot of
Someone asked if
dictators.
Nonito. Someone asked if Nonito was born in the U.S. No, he was not. Nonito was born in the Philippines with no electricity, no running water, and he was moved here at the age of 11. So he wasn't born here.
But they still don't accept him as 100% their own Filipino because they
Nope.
believe he's lived in America too much. His American, like the kids are born in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of look at him as the Mexicans looked at Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But I don't think that bothers.
Without the
Wait, no,
fishnets.
but let's be honest though. When you guys go
She
back
made
to
that clear.
Philippines,
Oh man, you
but
went
when you
there.
guys go back to Philippines, Nonito must be getting treated like a movie star.
Oh yeah. We have, when we go to the Philippines, like we make sure like we have our security guards that are there in the Philippines. They're mostly assigned to the boys, because we're okay with the fans, but they're mostly assigned to the boys. There is terrorism in the Philippines. There's a Muslim community, I believe South
Yeah.
that wants to be separated from the Philippine government. And you got to be careful. Like they know that there are kids, so we put the security on them. We don't eat. It's really hard for us to eat dinner in public. People normally come up when he's trying to put
So
a
when
steak
he
in his
goes
mouth.
there, everybody knows him. Yeah, he's like the movie star. They know him.
Yeah.
Regardless, even though at the end of the day, when he goes there, he's like, okay, Nonito's there. So you got to get crowds away from him. It's like you got to watch the people, right? You got to have security around him.
Yeah, and the one most irritating factor, if anyone from the Philippines is listening, when we go to a restaurant and I'm ordering and you're starstruck, I get you're starstruck by Nonito. That's fine. But can you please at least put in my order? Because every single time they get starstruck with Nonito, they forget my order all the time. It always happens. Just give me my food. I'm okay. Like, go
It's
ahead
like they don't
and Google
acknowledge
I all
you
day.
at that moment, Rachel. You get frustrated. They don't acknowledge you. They're fucking just worried about looking at him and talking to him.
I don't care if they acknowledge me. Just acknowledge my food order. Because by the time you come back with his food, and I've been starving for the last hour, and we finally sat down and waiting 20 minutes for my food, only to realize you forgot mine because you were googly-eyed at him, like pisses me off more. And he's like, babe, calm down. I'm like, it's always my food. It's always my food. I don't get it. I'm the one that's hungry.
So they get his food correct, but yours not.
Oh, they'll completely forget my food as if I'm not sitting at the table and ordered food. Like when you go back to the chef or the people that are setting up stuff, I would think that when there's one steak and they're like, okay, is that all the table ordered? There's two of them, right? I don't know. Ask a question, but it's literally they come back with his steak, and I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, okay, maybe it's another 10 minutes. Then finally I'm like, how long is the salad gonna take? And they're like, oh, ma'am, we're so sorry. We forgot. I'm like, yeah, of course you did. Of course you forgot about my salad. Okay. All right. And I gotta wait.
So for the steak, you guys have to go to Baguio because that's where I know where the steak's at. Like where when I go up there, we have to travel to Baguio to get the steak.
I mean, there's some good. There's a couple. So we stay in Alabang, which is on south of Manila, and there's some pretty high end restaurants that actually bring in the steak from Baguio. So there's not a lot, and they're not chains. They're like mom and pop kind of things that 4-star kind of thing that they actually import. Well, not import, but bring in the steaks.
Hey, Nonito, are you there, Nonito?
Yeah.
What is the most common question or the irritated question or even the most liked question, or I like to say gets asked to you? What is the like? Is there something that always fans say to you?
I mean, there's the thing. It's not so much that I like it or I don't like it. It's just the most things that I get asked. When are you fighting?
Always. When are you fighting?
I'm such a huge fan. When are you fighting?
Yeah, I'm such a huge fan. When are you fighting? And even though I'm there to fight that week, they'll ask, when are you fighting? I'm like, just look around, bro. My face is everywhere or something like that. They'll ask me that stupid shit. But
has anyone called you somebody else or something? Or
have you?
No.
No, wait. The only one is his quote unquote twin. So there's this guy in Vegas who's a world b-boy champion. He was on the second round of America's Best Dance Crew called the Super Crew. His name's Ronnie Baldonado, and they look freaking exactly alike. So he'll go. Ronnie will be out of town because he tours with Red Bull. And Nonito will go to the event because we're all friends with the Jabberwockies and Super Crews. So he'll go, and people will come up to him and say, like, hey, Ronnie, where's your brother or something or whatever. And Nonito can't dance anything like Ronnie, but vice versa. We had Ronnie come out to a fight in Cebu. It was a 20,000 outdoor arena. And we actually got the exact same outfit Nonito was wearing. We had 3 of our guys wear the corner jackets really quickly. Oh, God, what was the guy's name? The opponent was in the ring on the corner already. They announced him. He's in this corner waiting for Nonito to walk out. Ronnie comes out and he throws off his gloves. Mind you, he has the hood on that Nonito wears, right? He has a complete whole set. Throws off his gloves, throws it into the crowd. The other guy's corner's freaking out because they're like, what is he doing? Ronnie starts breakdancing. And then as soon as Ronnie starts to pull off his hood, the strobe light hits and the lights turn off. 5 seconds later, Nonito comes out of the locker room and does his ring walk. To this day, people think that Nonito was breakdancing before his fight.
And they would say, man, you can dance. I'm like, thanks.
You got the credit,
Is there still video of that? Is there?
Hey,
Yeah, there is. I actually found it the other day.
What's the most dumbest things or something you've heard, Nonito, and you thought, oh, these people are crazy? Is there like, you must hear so many people, but is there something that stood out as somebody said something to you?
You should fight Canelo.
Nah, that never got asked.
Oh my gosh.
You should fight Pacquiao. That was one. And we're like, we're totally in 2 different weight divisions. Not even just one weight division difference, but like several. We've heard that before a lot.
Yeah, there's just a lot of silly stuff. I can't remember at the top of my head.
I always hear the Pacquiao one. Why don't you fight Pacquiao?
Yeah.
He's at 147 and we're at 118.
Okay, yeah. So they always used to ask you something stupid like that, yeah? You're gonna
Yeah.
fight Pacquiao. Gonna fight Pacquiao. Does anybody ever give you? Do you ever see Australian fans? They give you credit for what you did with Darchinian.
Yeah, some fans do, you
Not
know.
many Australian people. They got a love and hate relationship with you, to be honest. Like you beaten
Yes, Carl
their
hates us.
top guys, yeah, and they think, and I'm going to keep it real with you, Nonito. We've got a lot of Australians who come to this channel and they love you as well. You know that. But they do say, Rapstar, we got to get that fight for Maloney. Maloney's going to get revenge. We want that fight from Maloney. And I've got to say this, right? They really think, and I'm going to keep it real, they think, Rachel, that Maloney is younger and he is going to beat Donaire. And I said to them, Donaire's too experienced. He's just got too much IQ, and he'll know how to land it on Maloney. Maloney will be touched, and when he gets touched, I think it's trouble. Now, look, this is the Australians. They think Maloney can get the revenge for Australia.
I mean, he's 50%, right? He's younger, but I don't think that has to do with anything.
Yeah, nothing to
Is
do
he
with
taller?
fighting.
Is he
And listen,
taller?
we're not the ones that's going around there saying, "Oh, we're in negotiations." Bro, no one's called us. Like, stop with that cap. No one's called us. We're not in negotiations. I don't know who's lying to you. So stop saying we're in negotiations, because we're not. We're not trying to run from you. When y'all want to come to the negotiation table when the titles are vacant, we're right here. And yet my phone hasn't rang. Richard's phone hasn't rang. And the title's not vacant. So what are we going to negotiate at this point? We're going to negotiate purses and all this stuff for an imaginary date? I mean, come on.
Maloney's already come out and told the Australian public that he's already in negotiation, which we knew that wasn't true. And he's also said to the people in the boxing world that he wants that fight with Nonito. No, like he wants to fight.
I'm sure he wants the fight. I just don't think Top Rank really wants him to fight us. I mean, they tried to do their moves at the BC to get him elevated to, to full champion status when Inoue vacates. That just proved to me that what you wanted to do was you get emailed like a certificate of participation that says, "Yeah, you're a full champ," without having to fight anyone. And then what would happen if that were to happen is if Nonito and him couldn't come into agreement, they would have probably asked the BC if they could fight someone else.
Can you also explain to the Australian people, which are in the chat right now, they keep saying, well, Nonito's got to come Australia. Is the market value for Maloney a big enough fighter for Nonito to be selling that fight? Because Nonito's a bigger name in America all day, and Nonito's a bigger name globally. But would you see the market value of going to Australia with Maloney?
I mean, I haven't seen him headline a card in Australia. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's only been on the undercard. So I can't value his viewership, his gate, or anything like that, because he hasn't been the main event where everything is built around him and is dependent on him alone.
That's a good point, though.
Hey, I gotta.
I mean, has he been a
I
main
don't
card in
understand
Australia?
the
I don't think
value
he
though.
has.
Yeah, but I don't understand the value. Is the value there in Australia? Because Nonito's a multi-million-dollar fighter. I'm sure he's a over a million, few million. I'm not going to say the number, multi-million. But is that value there for you in Australia with him? Can you sell it?
Can we sell it? We can sell it. Can he sell it?
Can he sell it with you guys in Australia? You should know. Is there a market there for you guys?
I don't know. I haven't really looked. I know we have fans in Australia. There's a huge Filipinos are everywhere. And Filipinos are in Australia.
Filipinos are everywhere.
But I just, like I said, like I think it's dependent on who we're fighting. Is he a big enough name in Australia to be able to pull the weight there? And if it's not a market value where it's valued at the correct valuation, then why would we go there? Like if we can't fill that arena because your name's not pulling that weight, then bring it back to America where we know we can.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I got a question for the Donaires. Before you retire, are you willing to fight in the Bay Area? Like just before you retire?
Yeah, I would love to, man. I would love to. That would be so fun for me, man. I've been wanting to go out there, Man, the Oakland Coliseum. In the
Right.
past, when Dre used to fight out there. I mean, I've always wanted to be to fight out there, man. I'd love that opportunity.
So like, do you have an option, or do you got to talk to like Richard Schaefer for like?
Well, the thing is, a lot of the promoters, they have their area that they've already connected with, and it's easier to negotiate and all of that stuff, so they're gonna go with the same venue every single time because they already have rapport, connections, and deals with venues, yeah, that's pretty much, they're gonna go to what they're comfortable with or what they're familiar with.
What
So
about
I
So I'm
want
guessing
your
that's why they
what
have to
about
fight
San
some
Diego?
dignity a lot,
Since
right?
San Diego has the number one Filipinos outside of the Philippines right here in National City. We have the Pachanga Arena right here in San Diego.
Oh yeah, the Indian resort.
It's owned by them, but it's actually in if you're familiar with San Diego, it's in Point Loma.
So is it an Indian commission, or is it?
No, it's
So
not.
just the hotel, it's just
It's
owned by
just
them.
an
It's not
arena.
actual
It's an
on
arena.
land.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's in the city.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
they
it
do have lots
super
of sports.
depends. I mean, like I know, Richard has a good standing with the old Home Depot, which is now the new Dignity Health, Staples, and I don't know what else he has connections, but I know that's why we kept fighting over there. That's like our home. Like when we went to the Regis, and the Zepeda fight,
Yeah.
they all the security guards remember us there. Like, they're like, "Oh, welcome home." And this is the first time we were there without not having to fight, right? So we were able to chop it up with a lot of the security guards over there and stuff like that.
Well, that's
So
cool.
Rachel, I spoke to Demetrius Andre the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and he done an exclusive interview on Punch Drunk Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I chopped it up with him, he says that Canelo Alvarez is worried about his style of fighting, and therefore avoided the fight with him. And people feel that at the end of the day, that Canelo says that no, Andre just hasn't fought nobody. And I don't want to give this idiot an opportunity. That's how he speaks, right? And that he don't feel that Andre deserves an opportunity because of not fighting competition, and second of all, doesn't bring value to the table. Do you agree with Canelo on this, or do you agree more with Andre that Canelo should fight him?
I'm a different kind of fighter mentally. I fight
Mm,
everybody,
mm, mm.
um where I mean, he is
But
at
if
the
you was
level
in
where,
Canelo's status, if you was his face of boxing and and Andre said to me, if he's the best, he should fight everyone. Like you're saying.
well, if he had the belt, and I have the belt, I would want to put it together. That's just how I am, but when it comes down to, if there's really no belt behind him, this is there's just too much risk, no reward, less, a little reward, so
Yeah.
so I would want them to come up there, but I would want them to line up, make himself mandatory. I'll fight the world champions from a different organization, so stuff like that. I would do that, but if he doesn't have anything for me, then I can understand why he wouldn't want that fight.
So
I
you
mean, look at all
understand
the
when
hoops he's
Canelo
making
says,
everyone else
well,
fight. Look,
Rachel, he's made a good point because everybody's always going up and down, Rachel, all the time. So
mhm.
Nonito agrees that Canelo has reasons for why he don't want these fights with these people.
I mean, he has different reasons for why he doesn't want to fight. I mean, he doesn't want to fight Benavidez because he's Mexican,
No,
right?
but then he
Yeah.
turned around and said, it's not that you guys keep asking me these fucking questions. And he got angry. Remember, he said that. And he goes, these guys don't fight nobody. Why don't they fight each other so then I can fight somebody? He does say that. He said that last.
I mean, that would make sense too. I mean, he did prove himself, being the cash cow.
Mm.
So why don't they fight each other and get in line for it? Instead of just trying to negotiate to go directly to them. You know what? If they're willing to fight, go make that fight happen, and then put yourself in line instead of talking about it. I mean, I think that's just how I would approach myself if I was in that position, to keep fighting. I mean, I got myself in position to fight Inoue the second time, because I put myself there. You know what I mean? And and if
You
if
went
I
out there
did,
to win a belt against younger fighters, and people don't even know this. How many O's have you had to beat? You beat an unbeaten fighters. You've taken people's O's.
yeah,
People don't
I've
recognize
taken a
that.
lot of
You've had to
O's.
beat people. Yeah, you're like Josh Taylor, bro. I call you. You take people's O's.
Yeah.
People don't know that, right? So you've had to put yourself in Inua's fight. So you agree with Canelo when Canelo says, "What has Andre got to offer me right now?"
Right. I
But
mean,
what
for
do you say to
again,
Andre when Andre say to me, he said, "Rapstar, go check at 160. I had the belt." When I said to him, "Let's make this unification," they didn't want to give me the opportunity. Is it hate or is it my boxing superior skills? Now,
well,
what am I meant to say to Andre, right? What am I meant to say to Andre when I went and done my research, and I've seen the research before Andre told me, it's true. Canelo had 3 belts. He could have been undisputed, but Oscar De La Hoya decided a bigger fight for him was a legacy fight at another weight class, higher weight class. Now, again, you get where Andre's coming from, champ?
I understand that. I understand that because I would be the same way. I'm like, yo, you want to you want to be undisputed in this division and speak of it, that you're the best, then I'm right here. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
instead you moved up in weight. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that I understand
And Mikey
his
Garcia
stance.
did that with Loma.
Yeah.
He went up in weight. My thing is this: Andre's saying Canelo avoiding my fighting style. What people don't recognize, Andre said it himself. He goes, "My fighting style is tricky, regardless of whatever people think. I got the skills." You know what I mean? And he says that Canelo avoided that.
Well, I think like eventually at the end of the day, like Canelo's he's going to start to get boxed in, right? Whether he's gonna, fight Bivol again at 168, or any of the guys, was the winner of Plant versus Benavidez is supposed to be in line too. Unfortunately or fortunately, Andre just moved up. That's one. Number two, he's going to have to position himself where he cannot just go and fight anyone else, because okay, so he looks the other direction, right? I thought it was Charlo is another one that he's going to end up running into. So his options are going to be running slim unless he wants to fight like a number 10 fighter, which everyone of course is going to boo at. But at the same time, like, I get what Canelo's saying, because at some point it's like, dude, like, everybody wants to fight him. Plant wants to fight him, Benavidez wants to fight him. He's not going to go and fight every single one of these guys just because they're calling him out. For him to say, "Oh, you guys fight each other and the winner I'll fight," makes sense to me, because he's not going to give 6 paychecks to a bunch of guys that they're going to be like, "Well, oh, what about me? What about me?" It's like, man,
Yeah,
you
but
guys
what
all
would
fight
you
each other
feel?
and I'll
How
fight the
would you?
best of you.
Yeah, but how would you feel if Nonito was in position and he could have got a payday just like Yildirim did? John Ryder probably is going to get a payday now, and what Demetrius Andrade is telling me is that I'm just as a credible opponent than anybody else. Canelo knows that. Eddie, and you know what? You should go watch it. He even told me that Eddie Hearn, in other words, blackballed him against Canelo. Like he knew what Eddie Hearn was doing, and he couldn't do nothing about it, because he said, the silk pajamas and the money was with Canelo. And at the end of the day, I agree with you, Rachel, that he maybe, Canelo's right. He hasn't done as much, but he was in position. And Canelo was going to be undisputed, and they didn't take the fight. And when Andre went and faced him and he said, "You a fucking liar. You didn't want to fight me." Canelo says to him, Rachel, that you're a horrible fighter and you ain't fought nobody. I'm not going to give you a fucking opportunity. Go fuck yourself. Is this Canelo showing that he's not the best and not willing to take all chances and all challenges? Because Nonito Donaire, win or lose, has took everybody on.
At 160, with that narrative, yes. I think that does play into a fact. But if he was moving, like, so if you have Andre on one side, when it depends. What was he moving for, legacy, or was he moving for money? So the bigger fight, like you said, was at 168, right? So you're looking at, okay, do I fight this guy? What's his value? And he can be tricky, right? But I could
See,
get
the problem,
undisputed.
I get it wrong, though. I got to rephrase myself. Nonito Donaire was such an exciting fighter. The value for Nonito Donaire against everybody is there. Unfortunately for Andrade, he hasn't performed in that way, or maybe he hasn't had the opponents or whatever. He hasn't knocked people out like Nonito Donaire has. And Nonito's given fights that's given his market value because of those performances, gives his market value with any fighter. People want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought, like, that being said, like, you're an opener on the card last Saturday, right? I don't think that that's going to help where he stands with how they view him as well. I mean, Canelo's side, with him being an opener. Ellis was on top of him, and so was Boots, which I understand, why Boots
Isn't that
was.
an embarrassment, though, for a 33, 34-year-old two-weight world champion needs to be on the opener?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
I
thought it
don't.
was
That's not
strange.
good for market value.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know why he wasn't on top of Ellis, honestly. Like, he should
Yeah,
have at least.
that wasn't good. They put Andre there like that, man. He should be bigger than Ellis, and he should be bigger than Boots. He should be ahead of Boots. They should have put him as the co-main. I think so. What do you think, Nonito?
I mean, in entertainment value, I mean, as a world champion, yes, you should put him there. But in entertainment value and people that they think will be the guy, they're gonna put Ennis in front of him, And
They're gonna put him.
I think they should have, yeah, because of the entertainment value, and yeah, I
I think
mean,
Rashidi should have been the opener.
yeah, I think Ellis should have been the opener.
Yeah. And do you agree with the market value today in today's climax? Like people keep saying, well, we don't want to watch Haney much because he's always making fights which are a bit boring. They talk about Andre like that as well. And is it because you don't shut out with performances against C- fighters? Today the fans, they don't really respect the sweet science like they used to. They want to see shut out performances because Andre did say, and he did say this, I'm gonna go and finish this guy. And people want to see that as well against C- fighters. Do you know what I mean? And this is the way that people look at it.
Oh
What do you
yeah,
think
like I
about
told
that?
you, like, boxing fans are very thirsty. And you go past 4, they'll give you the 6, and then they're gonna be upset that it went that long. So having it, go that long for them wasn't, as exciting. And at the same time, Nicholson, like, he did stand there a lot as a punching bag, high guard. Andre did land good shots on him, but it seemed to not phase as much as I think people were expecting. And people forget that he moved up it to 168. So, whatever happened in 160 is a different story from what's going to happen in 168. I mean, who knows at this point? Like, if Canelo would take the fight at 168, because now he's going to feel like, oh, I got you. Like, you're, okay, yeah, you're going to be slick, you're going to be like this, you're going to be like that, but at the same time, bro, like, you're just coming into my weight. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll be the reason that he's going to want to fight him. But I still stand on that. I think he's not going to fight him unless he's in position to, whether he has a belt or not.
And you know what? No, look, I'm keeping it real here. Today's boxing fans are different. They only want to respect a guy who tries to go and even if he gets beat or whatever, he goes for the knockout, or he's the guy who wants to close it. He's got killer instinct. That's the kind of fighters they want to watch. Do or die fighters. Today's market value for Andrade, and let's keep the same energy. We talk about Devin Haney not doing the greatest shutouts, and this is why Devin Haney is not the greatest market value, because he bores you. And we always said that if you got the skills and much more better, superior skills than another fighter, but you can't even stop him. This is what fans don't enjoy as much no more. And it's the same energy that, yeah, Demetrius Andrade, he did drop Quiggly Wiggly. Yeah, he did. But at the end of the day, every other fighter that he's come across, even if it's C+ or C-, he's gone the distance most of those fights lately. And even this fight, he came out exciting. One thing about Andrade, he fights in good spurts. He fights well. He gets you excited. And then all of a sudden, it was at the 5th round, Rachel, he took a slight body punch. Yeah, it wasn't a knockdown. He might have slipped, whatever. But he changed his fighting style and he went a bit more, analyzed the fight, and he wanted to box more. And I get it. He wanted to be safer. But he had way more superior skills. And then he went into the safe zone. If he had got the knockout in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, people would be speaking more highly of him. It's just the way the climax is. Regardless of if he won most of the rounds, he played it safe. And then he got the knockdown again in the 12th. But, he wasn't going as aggressive as he was going the first few rounds.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think the reason the topic of our live earlier this morning was like, did the A-team what was it, the A-team disappoint or something like that? And the thing is
Was it
that
a knockdown? Everyone's asking. Was it a knockdown, Rachel? Did Andrade get knocked down?
Yeah. Nonito said yes.
And I looked at it again and it looked like he got knocked down. And the thing is, he went very safe after that. He changed it. And look, he's got the skills to do it. But that's the same thing. Devin Haney got the skills, but Devin Haney can't put the close out. Even if he's more skillful, he just can't close the show.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like I think a lot of the the only thing with the A side fighters on this card was, I believe, everybody, including themselves, underestimated their opponents. When the card was announced, people were giving Hector Garcia, like, some people were giving him a shot, right? But everybody else is like, oh, this is a one-sided card, completely one-sided. They're all going to be fed to the lambs, and it didn't end up that way. And I don't know if these fighters believed that they were just sacrificial lambs, but it seemed that they didn't really put out what was expected of them in the long game. Like, I've been reading like some of these comments, and it's you talk about like the sweet science, and yeah, Rashidi has the sweet science. But and then to see him lose the way he did, with that knockdown, and getting dropped and losing gas tank. Well, those are all like things that have to create in a fighter. Like, you can't just have the sweet science and then not be able to run around. That sweet science that we're talking about, he wasn't able to evade that hook. You know why he couldn't evade that hook? Is because he put his feet together.
And that's why people believe, no matter how much skills he's got, right, Rachel, that people believe that Canelo will get to him. That once Canelo hurts Andrade will be in trouble. But yeah.
Nonito's telling me we have 4 hours to sleep.
All right,
and that's if I go to sleep right now.
Yeah, but you better get some sleep.
Well,
Hey,
thank you.
champ, safe travels, champ. And Rachel, we catch you when you get back. Tell us the
Thank you.
experience. Yeah.
Oh, Rap, the one last thing I want to say is the judges were very weird on Saturday. They were very touchy. The referees like to they were handsy. It was weird.
Oh,
Okay. Well, tell us what it's like when you go in and see Boots. Maybe Nonito Donaire might have a few rounds with Boots and come and talk to us.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later.
All right, see you later. Hey man, look man, big shout out to the Donaires. Came and showed us love, always telling us the inside. Nonito Donaire told you Manny Pacquiao a good fighter, but he a bullshit person. Manny Pacquiao is not a politician. He don't do shit for boxers, and the people that represent Manny are full of shit. Oh shit! Hey, we had some smoke. I want to hear Manny Pacquiao fucking come over here, bro.
Oh man, that'd be trouble.
That'd be great, man. But what a great show we had
I
today.
appreciate you letting me come up in the studio too, Rap, man. I'm a new subscriber, man, and I dig all the talk that you be putting out, man.
Yeah, man. We had a great show today, brother. Yeah, you always come on, bro. No problem.
Salute.
Yeah, man. So look, ladies and gentlemen, Andrade wants to smoke. We know Canelo don't think much of Andrade. Canelo thinks Andrade, he just ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Canelo thinks Andrade, he just wants a payday. But Andrade said, Canelo, you don't want to fight me, bro. You want to give every motherfucker an opportunity, but you don't want that smoke with Boo Andrade. Canelo says, I fought everybody. There ain't a man that I haven't fought. I fought people like you said Edison Lara was tricky. Yeah? I beat Austin Trout. Yeah? I beat Gennady Golovkin when he was the boogeyman. I beat Gennady Golovkin. When Golovkin was beating everybody and every man was shook to fight Golovkin. Canelo Alvarez went up in weight and faced Golovkin and gave Golovkin his first loss after the second fight. So we can't deny that Canelo has gone and done bigger and better things. But there's fighters waiting for Canelo Alvarez. Fighters are still waiting for Canelo Alvarez, bro. They want the smoke. And let me give you the 5 names that want that smoke. Let me see who's in the chat and who's got the first 5 names that Canelo's got left in the world of boxing. Who are the 5 names? They're easy work. Easy names. There's only 5 fucking names that Canelo Alvarez has got smoke if he wants it. Who are those 5 names, bro? You want me to quickly tell you? Somebody just put it in the chat, bro. 5 fucking names for Canelo Alvarez right now in the sport of boxing. Let's go. Morrell Jr., Charlo, Ryder, Usyk. Now that's cap. That's cap. Let me just tell you the 5 names. Dimitri Bivol for the rematch. David Benavidez for the big match if David beats Kalen Plant. Jamal Charlo coming up in weight, making a big fight with Canelo Alvarez. Boo Boo Andrade. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Whether you like it or not, he's still a name, and you still got a big fight with Demetrius Andrade. And then there's another fighter, whether you like it or not, he's got a regular belt, and he's got a great amateur pedigree, and he's got hands. And that's David Morrell Jr. Those are the logical 5 names. Those are the real 5 names that are left for Canelo Alvarez. There ain't nothing left. He's done everything else. There really ain't nothing left after that. This is it. Canelo's coming to the end of his career. This is the end of the road. And the fight that he's going to fight right now is going to be John Ryder. John Ryder's going to be the fight that he's going to fight as a tune-up. And after that, it's those 5 names. But which name can actually beat Canelo Alvarez? I can answer that on my next live. On my next live, I'm going to tell you the man out of those 5 names who can actually beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. Because the other 4 names, they still probably couldn't beat him. Smash that like button on the way out. You heard what I said. On my next live, I will tell you the man who beats Canelo. But the other 4, they don't beat him. 1 name beats him. And I'll tell you that guy on the next live. Big shout out to the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. You've been listening to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. We out of here. Peace.
Right, what's going on here, Nonito Donaire? Barry's actually going to propose to Sandra. Sandra has been giving Barry mad head lately, and he's witch, yeah? He's doing this behind the back of the boys because they know, yeah, they would have cussed him out for proposing to Sandra. Tracy had one job to do, and that was to record it. But she's all over the bloody place. Barry's clocked that she didn't get the footage, so he's going to propose to Sandra again. Oh, for fuck's sake, Tracy! What's going on?